going on, y'all? It's your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful and the beautiful.
Lily.
And we definitely in the building. We got some people with whom we have a tremendous amount of respect for. We got the lovely T and the homie Tony in the building. Our special guest. How y'all doing today?
What's going on, guys?
Now you already know. Before we go any further, I want you guys to talk a little bit about y'all show because you know, me and you T that T like my sister. That's big sis right there. She's been doing a bar. You know, uh, what is the bar podcast, right? Um,
No, Bar Podcast has been going for a while.
for a while now. But then,
Yeah,
I'm
Bar
talking about
Podcast.
when we started meeting, when we met, and you was doing a lot of your podcast stuff, right? And so you was doing the bar podcast, and then you was doing some other stuff with me, helping me out on some production stuff. We did the DNC. We was talking politics. You did your rundown on politics. And you've been working with me for a long time. That's big sis. I mean, anytime I pull up the bat signal, she turned right up. And so I appreciate you for that. But it looks like you got somebody different on your show, somebody special on your show. So you have to give
Yes.
an introduction and tell everybody who are we seeing right now. Holla at me, T.
Well, this is Tony, my boo. No. Um, Love Life Wednesday has been going on for a while, and Tony came on about a year ago as SB, as the secret boo to this whole thing. And just this year we revealed who SB was. And I'm going to tell you that the show has been amazing. We are getting into some serious, deep, deep topics. So it's been really good. Been really good. But this is Tony. Tony will say hi.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
So he's just getting used to this whole media thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. But we've been doing real good, covering some crazy topics though.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, it doesn't look like he's new to this because he jumped right in. I've been watching his show, and so I'm excited about you. I'm excited for the growth that you have been showing, and just in terms of like your podcast. I mean, you're a force to be reckoned with right now. And when it comes to we talk weekly. One thing that we like to say or we believe is supporting independent media, right? That's one of the most important things for us to make sure that we support each other in this I guess initiative to really give the good word, so to speak, to really tell the truth, to really tell the narratives that we see within our neighborhoods, to really tell, be journalists, so to speak, and not just, this is what I heard type of thing, which is a
Hmm.
space that we're just not that, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to see you, and I'm excited to see some of the things that you're doing. We got a couple dynamic people that's coming on today that I'm super excited about. We got big exclusive. We have somebody, Mr. Johnson, Brother Johnson, that's going to come on and talk a little bit about my fraternity. I'm excited about Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, which I am a proud member of. We're going to do our 2021 wrap up. So happy New Year to everyone who is watching today. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share. We're excited about this, but before we go any further, one of the things that I always have to, ask the ladies, how was your day? So, Sizzle, how was your day today?
Oh, wow. Um, my day was it was okay, just an average day. Too much rain, and I'm kind of, I'm still doing my thing
Hmm.
with my um estate sale and
Okay.
my art collection. So that's something that I have gotten into, art collecting, and it's really gotten me through COVID. So I spent a lot of time doing it today. So I enjoyed it. I had a good day, and I'm here.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Do you have any goals for your art collection for this year?
I do. So I actually have started expanding my collecting, and I kind of started off with just Italian pieces, and then some Chinese art and stuff like that. But I've gotten into African art, and
Wow.
I've collected some really really nice pieces, and I love the history behind art collecting, and just knowing where it came from and what was going on during that time. So, yeah, I just want to encourage people, to value art and collect it, if you can, it's something that will create a legacy that you can leave behind. When we talk about ways to create generational wealth and things like that, and that's another stream of income if you want to get into art dealing. So holler at me.
Holla at her, man. Let's get this art together.
Yes, yes.
What about you, Lee?
My day was very great. I am having a great first day out of 365 days to go. I hung out with my great aunt and uncle on my mom's side. They took
Nice.
us to lunch to a buffet, and we just talked, laughed, and hung out. I haven't really hung out with them in a minute. So far, we've been to a few parties together, but like actually sit down and chat it up, and all the good business, family business, and whatnot. It was really good, really, really great. I enjoyed my first day today. So yeah, so I'm excited for what the year is bringing this year.
Fantastic. And I'm sure you got a few stories, running down all the good old music that happened. Real quick, what was your favorite? What was your album of the year, or is that in your countdown?
Oh, that's in my countdown.
All right, so
So y'all know it is.
so I'm gonna leave that one alone, and I'm gonna go right to you. Come on, bitch, tell me, how was your day today? She kind of missed me. T, can you hear me? We must have left. Her AirPods must have died on her. That's all right. So I don't want anyone to go into there. We're gonna do, a rundown. Classy Lady Sparkle unfortunately was not able to come today, but she said, you know what, Charles Gregory, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually send you my rundown. So I don't want anyone to go anywhere. We'll be right back, y'all, right after this.
What's up, y'all? It's Classy Lady Sparkle. We talk weekly, and we are now in a new year. It is 2022. I know y'all gotta be excited. So, but I know y'all here for one thing and one thing only. And I'm so sorry I can't be there tonight. I wish that I was to see all of your beautiful faces. But I know you want to know about the good news and the bad news in 2022 review. So, we've had a hell of a ride, y'all. We've had a hell of a ride, and it's been a long 2-year ride. So 2021 birthed 2022. It stamped it with its DNA. But it wasn't all bad for 2021. 2021 birthed in new businesses, relationships, and the world's eyes opened just a little bit for the first time. And I'll reflect on some of those eye-opening stories that took place. So here's a quick review, a breakdown of your favorite good news and bad news. Okay, so number 10, I'm going from 10 to 1. Number 10 is the AUKUS deal. If you don't know what this means, AUKUS is an acronym. I figured it out on my own. It stands for Australia, United Kingdom, and the United States. It's a pact between all three. The U.S. will now allow both Australia and the United Kingdom to build nuclear-powered submarines while using technology provided only by the U.S. I think it's an effort to counteract China. So China has condemned the agreement and it says that it's extremely irresponsible. Australia was supposed to buy 12 conventional submarines from France for $66 billion, but they canceled the contract to go with the U.S. Crazy, right? Okay, number 9. Did the pandemic break the supply chain? Well, at least we had toilet paper in 2021, but everything else was low. Computer chips for cars, exercise equipment, breakfast cereal, and all types of bacon. Turkey bacon for me. All right. The 2020 pandemic disrupted nearly every aspect of the global supply chain. It was the logistics scarcity that caused the prices of many things to go up. But here's a small tip for my investors and my entrepreneurs. It's about to flip. You know what they say, what goes up must come down and vice versa. It's about to get crazy. The cargo, that's going to be booming. And what Fat Joe say? Yesterday prices are not today's prices. All right, moving on. Number 8, Joe Biden becomes the president. What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo. I always wanted to do that. I found out it works perfectly for this part, and I did. So I'm not sure if the new president, Joe Biden, is doing a good job, a great job. But I know he's not doing an excellent job. He might be just mediocre. But I will say he did send out them checks to folks, and he did help circumvent the craziness with the pandemic. So I guess he's doing an okay job. But Biden, I still got my student loans. I need you to, look into that. Anyway, I also want to add Kamala Harris, who is our first woman, let alone Black woman and Indian woman, as our first VP. But my sentiments are the same with her because I don't see Kamala doing too much either. I mean, I think I've actually seen First Lady Jill Biden doing more, or I don't know. I just seen her more. So, all right. Number 7, the vaccines arrived. Child, 2021, right before 2021 ended, this damn Amari Khan attacked everybody like Pharaoh. Well, at least here in Philly, Jersey, PA, it was a vicious, vicious thing. I don't know. Some say that it was sprayed in the air, in the water, who knows? But it came knocking at my door. So also, I wanted y'all to know for 2021, did you know that Pfizer's vaccine has changed its name? It's now called Commodity, something like that. It's because when Pfizer was FDA approved, the manufacturers had to adopt a brand name, which means once Moderna and Johnson & Johnson becomes FDA approved, the vaccines will have different names as well. So, all right, moving on. We got to keep it going. Number 6. All right, this one is a little sad to my heart. Number 6, as of 11:59 p.m. on December 30th, 2021, Philadelphia's murder rate is 559. Man, I'm shaking my head about this because it's my city. The city of brotherly love and sisterly affection has not seen homicide rates like this since the early 90s. That's nearly 30 years ago, and this is horrible. And what are we going to do? Our legislators, people just people with all these guns, these victims, the homicide victims of women and children have quadrupled, not double, not triple, it's quadrupled. And we need to get our city back. So, all right, let's go on let's go on to number 5. All right, number 5. Now, some people forgot about this because it happened at the top of the year for 2021. But I remember the insurrection that was attacked on our state's capital, the riot that America allowed to take place because the color of the people committing the heinous crime wasn't Black. 5 people died, including a Capitol police officer. All right, we getting closer, y'all. We getting closer to number 1. All right, number 4. All right, number 4 is Juneteenth becomes a federal holiday. It's the day that marks when our ancestors were finally free from slavery, or so we thought, but that's another conversation. The Emancipation of a Proclamation of 1863 has now been recognized. But my question is it a paid holiday or just a day off? Whichever way it is, enjoy the day. I personally think that it should be a day of rest for Black people, not a day of service. They are making it where you do something serviceable. No, hell no. That defeats the purpose. Do nothing. If anything, you be served. But Black people, don't you serve nobody. That's just my tidbit for the new year. Okay, number 3. We're getting closer. 98 people were found dead in a condominium built in Surfside, Florida, due to structural damage. The concrete was reported several years earlier due to water corrosion, and 121 people in total were still considered missing. It sounds like I've been just giving y'all bad news. So did I share any good news yet? All right. Well, number 2, I think this is one. Here's number 2. Number 2, Derek Shelvin, a former white Minneapolis police officer who put his knee for 9 minutes in the neck of an unarmed Black man, was found guilty. He was found guilty of killing George Floyd, and he was sentenced to 22 and a half years. may have need to be more, but he was found guilty. Also, three men that cornered Ahmaud Aubrey was also found guilty. They'll be sentenced in January of 2022. All right, drum roll, please. And the number one story for 2021, good news and bad news, is Christie's Auction sold its first purely digital artwork as an NFT for $69 million. So, why this make good news? This made good news because any of your art pieces, y'all need to start gathering up. This piece was called The First 5,000 Days by Mike Wilderman, who goes by the name of Beeple. An NFT is a non-fungible token. It's mostly artwork, but it can include music, video, even tweets. I am telling everyone I know, my kids, get any of your artwork. And I think I have some of theirs from like when they were in first, second grade. I'm going to start looking. Get any artwork, I'm telling you, and create an NFT. Cryptocurrency is now going to be the new form of payment for investments, and there are people on there who are making a hell of a lot of money. So there you have it, the top 10 stories of 2021. Remember, We Talk Weekly is an independent media. We work hard to bring you guys entertainment, sports, music, news, all of that stuff. So if you want to support us, you can do so financially by donating to our Cash App, $ We Talk Weekly. Or if you can't do it financially, we get it, we understand. But if you can't, then tell people about us, follow us, like us, subscribe to us, share us on all social media platforms for We Talk Weekly. Thank you for all the love and support, and we are ready for 2022. Mwah! Love y'all. Thank you.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back. So listen, when it comes to being able to give a rundown, the ladies put in a lot of work, man, because it takes a lot of time to do this. And at this point, I want to pull in a brother right now by the name of Big Exclusive. My brother, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to be back on with my family. Charles, Lauren, Lee, what's happening?
What's good?
Lee, I'm waiting for the rundown on those albums, okay? It's one of my favorite segments on the show, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Now let me bring Tanima. How y'all making out with the sound? Y'all good?
TNT.
Yeah, it kept going in and out, but we making it work. We making it work.
T, what up?
What's up, Sharon?
we gonna work this year, T?
We got to get it going. COVID messed everything up, man.
Yeah, right.
Can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
COVID messed everything up. I mean, when you talking about people, I mean, there's a lot of people that's even checking out, man. So our pizza, all the ones that we lost due to COVID, and it's a lot of people out there that's sick. So make sure you guys stay healthy out there. Make sure you guys take your meds, take your vitamins, take your shots. If you're getting the shots, take everything. We need you here. And so without further ado, we're at the top of the hour. And this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk on WPP Mlk Philadelphia 106.5 FM at our new studio. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But I'm bringing someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for, man. Not because just who he is, but he is part of I'll say the greatest fraternity on the planet. This is my frat brother, and I'm part of the Great Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, January 9th, 1914, at Howard University. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that because I'm sure it's a lot of people like, what's Phi Beta Sigma? So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that, but also about some of the initiatives that's going on right now. I want everybody to join in for my brother, Marwan Johnson, International Director of Social Action. And he's here today. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, brother. How are y'all, man? Peace.
What's going on, Anwar?
Man.
Fantastic.
2022 in the building.
There you go. I appreciate you joining in on the show, man. And anytime I get the opportunity to talk about, just Black Greek letter organizations, I do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
But I got a special place in my heart for the brothers.
As we all do, brother.
No doubt. So for those who don't know, pretty much about Phi Beta Sigma. Why don't you just, run down some of the things and some of the initiatives that Phi Beta Sigma does and just who you are?
All right. Well, as you just mentioned, Phi Beta Sigma was founded on January 9th, 1914 by three illustrious men, Abraham Langston Taylor, Leonard Francis Morris, Charles Ignatius Brown, with the idea behind being inclusive as opposed to being exclusive. So we say inclusive we, not exclusive we, right? And we saw what was going on in the day. You got to think about 1914. There was a lot of things going on. And so as a college-educated men, we wanted to come together and bring like-minded individuals, no matter what your race, creed, or affluency around, your family structure was. And that's what happened with Phi Beta Sigma. And we, in 1914, we thought that we was going to bring something new to the table, and we did exactly that. And then even with our partnership, not only constitutionally bound, we saw that, having that in our pocket would be even better as a family, right? So we helped also establish Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated in 1920. So that during that time, I mean, they were game changers. They were men that just saw vision. They had a vision, a strong vision, and that's what we bring today. 118 or 108 years later, on the 9th of 2022, we're going to be celebrating 108 years. And so, some of the things that we do with our new administration that just got elected in this past conclave, we come with a theme under the guidance and leadership of our president, Chris V. Ray, and our entire international board. We're doing great things, new initiatives under the theme of brotherhood to believe in. And as we move into 2022, we want our organization to be poised to explode in our membership, our programming, and to break ground on our new international headquarters. I don't know if you're aware of that, but yeah, we got new headquarters going on, and that's going to be great. It's also going to have a public housing a segment of that. So we're going to be giving back to the community that's given us so much. And that's Washington, D.C., my hometown. And we recognize that to accomplish all these goals and all the missions that from the founders and from everybody who's come before us is that we have to believe in who we are and what is possible. And so from my perspective as the International Social Action Director, some of the things that we want to do in 2022 is focus on men's health. And because, we are our most valuable asset, and we need to start protecting ourselves, and not just health, but also in our mental health as well. So not just physical health, but we want to talk about it from a holistic standpoint. And so we have a Founders Day Call of Action. My American Cancer Society coordinator, Brother Irby, he's come up with a great plan. And what we're doing is asking all of our brothers and families and friends throughout the month of January to get your screenings, get your annual physicals, not just talk about it, but we want you actually to schedule them. Schedule those annual physicals, schedule your dentist appointments, schedule your prostate exams, your colonoscopy exams, your mammograms, if you don't know what your A1C is, schedule that and make sure you advocate for yourself when you go and get your annual physicals. Because again, a lot of people think that we're on a different scale or think that, oh, you're too young to get these screenings. And the early detection is what matters. And we know that, right? Because cancer does not care about your age, especially if you have a family history about it. And so what we're trying to do is work towards those disparities that exist in the Black and brown communities and making sure that we're being healthy for ourselves as well as our families and friends. So we have that Founders Day Call of Action. And again, while we're focusing on our health, we're also got to go and flip that page, right? Because, one of the another valuable asset that we have is our right to vote. And one of the things that we're doing as an organization is we're signing our name onto the Mlk Call of Action that's happening. Because again, if you were not aware, the King family came out and it's called for no celebration without legislation. We know, and if you don't know, the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Bill has been stuck in the United States Senate for over a year now. And we've seen across all southern states what they're doing to the voting rights of and trying to disenfranchise a lot of people, right? the same states that those same senators were elected in. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with the voting, got a problem with access to votes. It should be a national holiday anyway, but that's for another story. So what we're doing is joining on board with the Hub Project, with the NAACP, NAN, and saying, hey, let's deliver for democracy, right? So not just for the money for the infrastructure, but it's about time for us to deliver for voting rights. And so for that weekend, we're calling on our friends down in Georgia and DC and Arizona, because I know Cinema's over there, in Arizona, and our friends in West Virginia for their senator to try to make sure that we don't have no paths and no stones left unturned, whether it means abolishing the filibuster or not. And this is something that our president and myself has been very active on. We both spoke at the March for Voting Rights that happened in August, and I was definitely elated to be able to do that in the name of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So that's something that we have going on as well. And the last thing I'd say, again, back to the health, we're actually having a health fair. It's a community health fair. It's virtual. We want everybody to register. I'll definitely give you and pass that on to you so you can spread it out to your circles of influence. But It's called U 2.0. And it's basically, the title is Unleash the Best You in 22. And again, we're going to be focusing on the health. We got a mental health track. We got a wellness track. And it's just a way to uplift our community, be able to provide it in a free way, and just get that trusted messenger for our communities. And because, again, around the auspice of our motto, culture for service and service for humanity, that's exactly what we're about doing. And then I would be remiss if I don't give a shout out to what my other program directors are doing. We have Brother Cheney and our international education director, who is doing great work providing scholarship monies to all of our collegiates and our graduate brothers who are attempting to get those advanced degrees. Brother Gibson, our international Bigger Better Business director, he launched during this COVID, because we know when COVID hit, Black businesses were affected tremendously, whether it was the shutdowns and all that. So what he launched was called the Black Spend Initiative. And to date, we've raised over 1.5, it may be more than that now, $1 million towards just our chapters giving back to Black businesses. And we're tracking that. And so we're hoping to get over that mark in 2022 and keep that trend going. So we're doing a lot of great work from our fraternity standpoint. And I appreciate you giving me the space and the platform to come on this show to share that with you guys.
Absolutely, my brother. I think is a very important thing to be able to articulate some of the needs, especially when it comes to men, especially when it comes to brothers who look like us. We have this tendency to not believe that we need to talk to people sometimes. We need kind of like that mental health check-in, that we need to check on our bodies and our health and wellness. Sometimes the brothers have challenges with that. Sizzle, you had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because sometimes, us as Black women, we love our Black men. We love, we want to support you in every way. But there are times when, you can be a little hard head when we trying to get on you about making sure you go to your appointments and all and stuff like that. So what advice would you offer to Black women about different ways that we can go about, making sure that our men stay healthy, they get their checkups and wellness visits, and, just understanding that healthcare is so important? Because, sometimes you guys tend to, I don't want to speak for all of you, but, you may neglect your health, and even for my dad, he's like, he hates doctors and hospitals and stuff like that.
Yeah, you make a very strong point. And I actually had a program last year about why men don't go to get their annual physicals. And it's a lack of trust. It's a generational thing where, we were test subjects, with the Tuskegee experiment. And this kind of goes all the way back there that people want to keep and hold on to, right? And I think that for women and our queens out there, we want y'all to keep on pressing us to do that, right? And again, I think it's more about accountability for us as well. It's for me to uplift and share that with my peers, right? And spread that it's, listen, the doctor's not the boogeyman. You can keep running from your problems again, and then find yourself in the emergency room with more complicated problems. And I think that, in partnership, right, and make that a normal conversation and not a conversation when you're in the hospital and you're lying in the hospital, or you're at somebody else's funeral and now you're trying to make that a topic of your kitchen table. I think we just need to normalize health. We need to, just like we need to normalize mental health, right? Not be scared to talk about it, right? So I call it courageous conversations. And I have programming around our Living Well Brother Speaker series around these courageous conversations. And so I would just say, hey, to all the women out there, to keep having these courageous conversations. I know as men, we tend to think that we're built like Superman and we can't die from cancer. But at the end of the day, cancer is one of the top three deaths from us, right? Or maybe even the number one. So, yeah, that's what I would just offer. It's just that just keep having those courageous conversations, because again, I'm having them with my peers because I think it's that important, and we just need to normalize that. And it's not we're not living in those same times no more, right? And you can see that with the COVID hesitancy, right? Like this is the only time in our life where we're out here talking about a shot. But when we were kids, we were out here getting the measles, mumps, rubella shot. We giving them to the same kid, now all of a sudden we can't get a COVID shot. We want to know what's in the shot. Nobody can tell you what's in that chicken pox shot that you got though, or that measles shot that you got though, right? Like, or that influ, like all the shots, all the pills. Like, you don't know what's in Tylenol, but you take that when you got a headache, right? You don't even know what's really in your vodka, but you'll drink that thing at the club. But you know what I mean? All of a sudden, when it comes to COVID, all of a sudden now you want to know what everything is. Now you want to know what's in it. Now you want to have all this, there's hesitancy around something that. For your health, though, right? You'll do anything else, but now all of a sudden, COVID's the boogeyman. Now that we need to know all this information about it, but you'll go back home and pop 2 Tylenol when you got a headache, though. But you don't know nothing about that, though, right?
I know that's right. And I mean, as you can see, this brother, he has social action written all over him too. Real quick before I let this brother go, because I know some of you guys have a couple questions. I seen you shaking your head over there, T. What was that about? Talk to me.
Well, I mean, this is the big thing, right? Where, like you said, the COVID shot turns into the boogeyman, and Tony works in the field of healthcare and has just watched people just die, and then be in this position of watching what's now happening because no one got the shot. And I just want people to understand we will never get back to normalcy if everybody just doesn't comply. I don't know why, people were saying they were growing horns and third legs and everything from getting the shot. And I said the same thing. Like, we don't even know what's in the flu shot. We've been getting that forever, and we don't know what's in anything, so it's like, it just bothers me because this is what's stopping businesses and corporations. It's having such a financial impact on us because we just won't comply, and we've turned it into something that it didn't need to be. And now look, we got businesses failing. I'm going through a rebirth with my business because my business tumbled because of COVID. So it's we just got to smarten up, and I'm so glad that he's talking about this. And it's our people. Awesome. Sometimes our people will listen to us more, because I did this to him. He's 53, right? We're both 53. I was like, yo, babe, gotta go get the prostate check. You gotta, and that's that partnership thing where you gotta encourage your family and friends to do that because we want them around as long as possible.
No doubt. Hey, Big, I see you over there snickering. What's that about?
Nothing. Just listening to the information and how important it is. And I'm laughing because on my show, the Angry OG, he just refuses, and he's like, yo, I'm not down with the jab. I'm not getting it. He's like, it's the people that's vaccinated that's spreading the COVID. at a rampant pace. He doesn't understand why. I mean, he has valid reasons, and I understand why he doesn't want to do it. But I'd like to get back to some normalcy. And I'm sorry to hear about your business, T, but I know how resilient you are. Tony, I meant to speak to you earlier, and I meant no disrespect, sir. How you doing tonight, Tony?
Good,
Um,
good, good. No
that's good.
problem.
But yeah, for me, it was the exact opposite for my business ventures. I saw a surge across the board in all my business ventures. Doesn't mean I want COVID here to stay. Doesn't mean that I want people to get sick and die. But I just wanted to say I did have, like, COVID for me was pretty good in the sense that business went all the way up for me. And I appreciate the people who continue to support me. And I'd be remiss if I didn't get on this platform and salute you guys, Lauren Sizzle, Sparkle, Lee, and Charles Gregory. I consider you my mentor. I just appreciate the work y'all do consistently on We Talk Weekly to spread really good information to our community. And I'm just hoping more people get on board. So if you can hear me or if you tuned in, make sure you guys share the live. Make sure you follow We Talk Weekly, all the hosts from We Talk Weekly, and help spread the word about one of the most positive platforms I've ever known. And I love it. So I appreciate you guys existing. All right. So keep up the great work. I'm happy to be a part of every situation you invite me to, bro.
No doubt. I really appreciate that. And I think it's just important, because I appreciate you and I value what you do on the platform that you have. Also, I think it's important that one of the things that I said before you got on was it's important that people like us that has platforms, especially as it relates to independent media, is very
Right.
important that we put out the correct information, the correct narratives, because if we don't, someone else will. And it may
Right.
not be the narrative that we want out there because it's not accurate. And I think when we have platforms like ourselves and we're doing the due diligence and doing the work, the correct information get out there and people see it and people notice it and we see it on the back end. So I appreciate you, my brother. Now, Brother Johnson, before I let you go, right? Bryce Jordan said, "Go, Mob." Mike Wilcox said, great info, and we really appreciate that. Before I let you go, we have been noticing that there has been a divide between can I say cultures or generations, right? You have like an older generation, you have a younger generation, and everyone can always use accurate information and getting the word out. What do you think that bridge can be, even when it comes to like graduate chapters versus undergraduate chapters? What do you think that bridge is? What do you think we can do to strengthen those ties between the generations?
I think that's a that's a great um, point that you bring up, and I think that one, the older generation has to, and I won't speak to everybody, right? But we have to stop acting like, when we grew, and I'm 41, right? And when I was growing up, it was always, respect your elders.
Right.
They know better than you, right? And in some part that's true. But I think that what was missing in that was learning how to talk to connect with me the way that you wanted me to know exactly where you were trying to get to, right? As opposed to just being told to sit down and shut up because I don't know anything. How about you just try to listen to me to figure out where my mind is, and then now you understand how you can, instead of just saying shut up because I know, sit down and shut up because then just like, okay, this is where you're coming from. So let me explain to you how that is. And I think this younger generation, they're into wanting to know exactly what's going on. It's no longer, hey, listen, just listen to me because I'm older than you. It's, I need to know how you're thinking, how to connect to you on that level. So that way you can get that level of information back to them, because I think that's the only way it can be productive. Right. I mean, I have an 18-year-old daughter and she just thinks totally different than me. I can't connect to her and just tell her that I know what I'm talking about. Right. It's more or less that I have to basically be able to, and even from an undergraduate standpoint, right? Back in the day, we used flyers, right? We threw parties, we had flyers, we putting them on cars, right? We out here, word of mouth, got tickets in hand, talking about, hey, bro, give me this money for the ticket, right? New generation, like, man, listen, I'm gonna geotag this thing on Cash App or whatever they use, right? They geotag and stuff. IG, they Snapchatting it out. Ain't no printing or no flyers. Ain't no You know what I mean? Like it's totally different. And so you can't come to them talking about, yo, what I used to do back in the day and we made tons of money in this club, promoting this club. That ain't gonna work for them. And it's gonna go one in one ear right out the other, right? So I just think that we just have to be a better communication, right? And we gotta understand that while we may have valuable information that they could use, we can't just dismiss the way that they're processing it, right? Because I think that they're more in tune to what's going on for their generation, and we have to be able to speak to them at their level, and not think that, and not talk over them or talk past them, right? Because the way we did things it helped us or it worked for us, right? That's just not how it does. So what I tell all the advisors that I talk to from a collegiate standpoint, or just my daughters in from generation, when I talk to her about things, right? I may throw in that, listen, I've been there, done that. But then I also take the time to listen to her to figure out what they got going on, right? And then try to adapt my message to her way of thinking, right? So it makes it so it's kind of like giving her that other piece of, I know what the heck I'm talking about, but also trying to deliver it in a way that she gonna listen to. If that means showing her a TikTok of the same daggone thing, then that's what I'm gonna do, right? Like, or if I need to show her a meme and tag her on Facebook or tag her on IG on that, then that's what I'm going to do. Because again, it's a language thing. It's a language thing. And it's also one of those things where, you know, they want to think that they know what's going on. So if I could show them a peer doing the same silly shit that and I don't mean to, but if that, you know what I mean, the same stuff that they doing, right? That's crazy. And then make that an example of why I just told you that you shouldn't be doing that. Then that's what I'm going to do, right? Because she sees her peers doing it and seeing how crazy it looks, right? And then making them be an example that I need to make sure that I can drive my message home. So I think that's the kind of what my advice would be, right? It's just kind of that communication that Barry just needs to be one of those two-way conversations and not so much of a one-way like it used to be back in the day. Like I don't think I got an edge and I don't got a word in edgewise with my parents. It was just kind of like, look, you know when to shut up, right? Because otherwise you're gonna get popped across the mouth. We can't be doing that no more with these kids now.
You know, I think you make an excellent point. And again, I want to appreciate you and say thank you for coming to the show. Brother Brown jumped on and he said great segment. I appreciate that's my big brother right there. So I appreciate him for making the ties and networking like as we should. But you know, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, you know, brother, because it's a lot of people who feel disconnected when it comes to fraternity and sorority, right?
Yeah.
We have something coming up January 9th. And, you know, how can people who are not necessarily Greek, so to speak, or part of a Black Greek letter organization, how can they feel more connected to fraternities and sororities? And how can fraternities and sororities get the message out that they are vocal when it comes to like social action issues, right? Or social initiatives? Because oftentimes you may hear that, well, you know, where are the churches? They're quiet. Well, where are the organizations? They're quiet. You know, Black Lives Matter is happening. Where are all these people who claim to be services to the community? Where are they? How can we get them more active? What would you say to those people?
So you know, and we have our National Panhandle Council, right, where it's the collaboration of all the 9 organizations, and we meet with the White House on a collective basis. We have a council of presidents that meet with all the D9 presidents, and I think just like with any organization, NAACP, now all these are our partnerships that we work with, right, from a fraternity and a sorority, from a Black fraternity and sorority way of life, right, and so I think that being more open, right, I think. Instead of, and I guess it goes, instead of being so close-minded and being so siloed, right? We need to be doing a better job outreach and outreach and making sure that, and that's the reason why even with my health fair, it's open to the public. A lot of people, when they see Phi Beta Sigma, thinks it's just for Phi Beta Sigma, not for everyone, right? And so I think we just need to do a better job collectively to let people know that, hey, we're here advocating for you, because that's the reason why all of us were founded in some form or fashion, right? The work that we're doing in a community, right? We all have a call to action for that work, right? And while we do have the same colors, we have our same pride with the, you know, our fraternities and sororities, but at the end of the day, we all come together when it's time to come together, similar to where the churches were back in the Civil Rights March, right, and the Civil Rights Movement, right. And now it's time for for the National Panhandle Council, in a partnership with our D9, to do that and be that driving force through the partnerships that we have on a strategic basis as well. And you see that coming along, right? So when the March of Voting Rights, we all spoke, right? When we're talking about even this call of action, right, where we're all signing on, right? And you see that when we have even with the Biden administration, with Kamala Harris, you saw how we unified around her, and when she was running in for her race, and even when the Biden ticket came along, right? And we united around Georgia, right, and push that legislation. And I think the problem is that while we're doing all that, we don't take credit for it, and so people don't see exactly what we're doing. So we can tell you, right, in these platforms, this is all the stuff we're doing, but to the normal person, they just see, hey, man, we got 2 senators from Georgia, right? But didn't see the legwork and the billboards, unless you were in Georgia, that the MPHC actually went out there and actually, formalized collectively to get people out to vote. And so I think we just need to do a better job, just kind of like normalizing that conversation to everybody who's not Greek, and letting them know that is never too late to join an organization. It's not just a collegiate thing. Right. And two, right? And two, just letting us know that we're still here as trusted messengers for our communities. And if we do a better job doing that, I think we'll break down those barriers and those walls. And people can kind of understand what we're doing, and it's not so behind the scenes. And then we when we want to come out, we come out and then talk, right? So I think that's kind of where we need to be.
My brother, I appreciate you, my brother. We have Marwan Johnson here, International Director of Social Action, man. Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated. And before we let you leave, my brother, can you tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, know more about Phi Beta Sigma, some of the things that you have planned? And before I let you go, I do want to let you know that this platform is specifically for stuff like that, right? Stuff.
Yeah.
Right. No. To be able to be frank and the fact that we have our own independent outlet, no one can tell us anything. So we do what we like to do and want to do because we can. And right. So I would love for you to just kind of like, before you leave, just introduce yourself again, how they can get in contact with you, know about Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and just know that as long as I'm here, you will always have a platform here.
Hey, man, and listen, I appreciate you for having me on tonight. Again, my name is Marwan Johnson. I'm the International Social Action Director of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. You can reach out to us. Our website is phibetasigma1914.org. You can reach out to me personally at social action at phibetasigma1914.org. You can follow us on Facebook and IG with the hashtag PBS1914. Again, we're about believing in the community. We're all about advocacy, and we're all about social justice and change. And, again, this has been awesome. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the platform. To everybody that's out there, I can't see the names anymore, but I appreciate the feedback. And I'll share everything that we have here. I'll send it to you, Brother Gregory. And I think, again, if you allow me the space, I'd love to come back and chat to you about anything, man.
Absolutely. You my brother. So, it is what it is. So I appreciate you for coming on the show, and I'll talk to you soon.
Peace. Go mob, brother.
Go mob. So that was my brother right there. And I want to bring it someone else with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for, was waiting patiently in the background. I know she wanted to be engaged and talk a little bit. This is what she does, very engaging, and she talk a lot of social interests and social initiatives. And like my sister over there, Jamie Jam. How are you, my sister?
What's up? It is so good to see you.
Jam.
Big exclusive. What's up?
Jamie, how you been?
I'm good. It's so good to see all your faces. Yep.
It's been too long.
It has. It really has. It's so good to see you guys. I can't get over it.
So you was in the back and you heard a lot of what was going on. I want you to kind of give your take on what you heard in the back, some of your, some of your thoughts, because I know you wasn't able to, kind of give some input. But after you do that, I want you to introduce yourself and some of the platforms that you are on. And I say some because you are busy. Yeah, let me know.
I am, yeah. So I'm definitely interested in connecting with Brother Johnson because he's got a lot of the same initiatives that I'm starting to look at with WJMS Media, and I'll talk a little bit about the transition for that in a minute. But he had some really good points about elders reaching back to the younger generations and communicating with them about things that need to happen and why things are the way they are and stuff like that. That's something that I talk about a lot, and so listening to him kind of speak about just how to sort of each one teach one, if you will, from one generation to the other. I thought that was really powerful. And going along with it, talking about healthcare in not just the Black community, but across the nation and around the world in terms of COVID and getting things like that checked out, whether it's health diseases that may run in your family. A big proponent for healthcare now at this point, based on all the stuff I have going on. But just all of the things that he mentioned and everything that he was talking about it was just like he hit the nail right on the head with a lot of what he was saying. And I just was in the background just like, yep, the whole time agreeing. But to introduce myself, so again, it's been years since me and Charles Gregory have shared space with each other. Same thing with me and Big Exclusive. I am Jamie. I am the owner, CEO of WJMS Media, which once was WJMS Radio. We are in the process of transitioning from a radio station to a full media platform. The reason for that is that we just got a little too big. We have big dreams, we have big goals, we have big things that we're trying to do, and trying to contain that within a radio station just wasn't working. And so we needed to bring more video content so that we can see beautiful faces like all of us in this room right now. We're trying to bring a lot more awareness to health and wellness initiatives in the community. I myself was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in December of 2018. And since then, I have dived sort of headfirst into the lung cancer community in terms of advocacy and outreach. I've joined several different organizations. I have a lot of things happening right now in the background that I'm working on for 2022. But it's not just lung cancer. We look at diabetes, we look at heart disease, we look at sickle cell, all issues that really affect the Black community, and just things that we don't talk about. Mental health, Brother Johnson talked about mental health a little bit as well. That is something else that we are really going to be focusing heavy on and starting to remove some of the stigmas that are associated with all of these different things, whether it's cancer to, talking to a therapist to anything like that. And like you said, Charles Gregory, we have, conscious conversations and stuff like that. That kind of stuff is what we need to be doing. That's the kind of content that WJMS Media is looking to bring and expand and bring to air. The other thing that we're looking to do as well is keep our internship program live and functioning, because we have a really good hands-on internship experience program. And for me, that was one of the things that walking away from WJMS Radio and transitioning to WJMS Media, I needed to make sure it stayed with us, because we have had, at this point, I can't even count how many students have come through our doors, but they've walked away with experience that has been invaluable. And, seeing the excitement in students, eyes and stuff like that when we're on our calls and when we're talking about what they're going to be getting into, for me, that was rewarding. And I like being able to give not just Black students, but students in general, access to behind the curtain, things that other internships are not going to give them. They're not going to be getting me coffee. They're not going to be running meaningless errands. You're literally running the day-to-day operations right alongside with me and understanding how the actions that you're doing affect a real life business while I coach you and mentor you in the process. And so I needed to make sure that process and that whole experience stayed live for WJMS Media, and also live and community events as well. I want to do a lot more TED Talks, speaking about my story, talking to people about what's going on, and of course, doing my podcasts and things like that. So that's what WJMS Media is looking to do in a nutshell. I'm definitely excited to connect with everybody, in the network. I got both of you guys on my list as people that I wanted to get back on my show to reconnect with. So when you hopped in the DMs a little while ago, Charles, and asked me about coming on the show, I was like, yep, absolutely. It was like the stars just aligned perfectly. So I'm just happy to be here.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there you go. You see that firecracker right there? I mean, this is one of the young ladies that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, which is the reason why she's on the platform. And when you talk about provocative when you talk about thinkers, right? When you talk about academics, when you're talking about, really having a conversation that someone can benefit from and pass on a knowledge. This is very important to have these type of conversations. It's a space for everything, right? And so I appreciate you for coming on the show. I want to jump right to Nima and Tony, right? I reached out to you guys and I wanted to know pretty much what your top 10 was for the new year, right? Your 2021 wrap up. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to, let us know what was some of the topics, some of the issues, some of the events that happened that really stood out to you guys.
Well, so the show, because the premise of the show was Love Life Wednesday, there was a lot of topics that kind of had us cracking up, and we were just like, y'all lying.
Yeah, straight up.
It's like you guys are lying. So one of the biggest topics of Love Life Wednesday of 2021 was privacy.
Yes.
Right. So people had this thing where they would put everything under the sun on their social media except their relationship.
Right.
So we thought it was funny.
Yeah, showing 2 cups.
Yeah, like people were posting things of like 2 cups or, roses, clouds or whatever, but we just couldn't see
the boo.
The boo, right? We couldn't see the boo.
The boo.
Yeah, the boo was the big thing. I mean, and that probably was one of the biggest topics that we got into in 2021, where we discussed it actually for a month.
Month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half of privacy. But to touch on what Jamie said too, we also advocate for getting mental health, right? To getting mentally, the show is on a premise of getting mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually fit. And the 5th is accountability. So we believe that the success of a relationship counts on those things. And the first thing is being spiritually fit, and then all the other things fall into place, being the 5th one being you're accountable for all those things, which makes for a great and healthy relationship. So we just thought that was just really funny, that people were very adamant about keeping the relationship private.
They don't want nobody to know.
Right?
Nobody.
They said the people they needed to know, no. That was that was the other thing too. So this also was a second year for me without my mom. I lost my mom in 2020. So this was didn't feel like Christmas too much this year, shed little tears or whatever, but thank God I had him here. And, my daughter is here and just trying to get through it. But we definitely kept advocating for mental health. I think that was the biggest thing, right? What you say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, without us in the Black community, we don't go to doctors, especially men. We don't go to therapy. We don't believe in that. We're men. We've been taught to be hard men. No crying. Get up, wipe yourself, and keep it going.
Yeah.
No issues, no nothing.
No nothing.
Nothing. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Don't know where we're going, but we're going to keep it moving.
So moving on into January, this Wednesday coming up starts our actual first show of the year. And the whole entire month is dealing with, do you know how to choose? Like, do you really know how to choose your mate? You keep getting it wrong for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Something's wrong. And we're going to try to bridge the gap between understanding how you're choosing to get a mate versus why are you staying with the existing mate you're with when you know that person is just not meeting those. We talk about the girlfriend thing, when you go out and meet with your girlfriend. Oh my God, girl, I need a man that not this, and this. and then, oh my God. And then you'll meet with your friends and like, oh my God, he treats me like crap and this and that and the other. So we're trying to bridge that gap for you to, like, if he's doing this, like, say bye and keep it moving.
Yeah, why are you staying?
Yeah, why are you staying? So we're working on that for the whole month of January. And of course, February is actually cheat month. We're going to spend a whole entire month talking about why men cheat, why women cheat, why people cheat in general. And then we're always I bring in research. I'm actually going to dig into the research of cheating and get into the psychological aspect of cheating. So that's what we got coming up so far.
I love it. I love it. I love the idea of the psychology piece because a lot of what I do, even when it comes to wardrobe and image, a lot of it is psychology and being able to
Absolutely.
understand the why behind something. So that's a dynamic uh focus that I can't wait to hear more about you guys. Big, what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on, just the idea of, you know, cheating per se? I know you had a show not too long, it was about the other day, and you guys actually touched on cheating. Do you feel that it's a reason behind cheating? Do you think men and women cheat the same? What's your thoughts on that?
We did kind of touch on it a little bit. I'll be glad when we be able to do a full show on it, and that way I can invite you and T and the rest of the gang here to the big exclusive podcast to discuss it. But if you asking me my thoughts on why men and women cheat, I won't even get to the consensus of what they talked about on the podcast because you can go look at it. It's at www.thebepodcast.com. But my personal thoughts on cheating: people cheat because it's so many reasons people cheat, right? Because this topic is so. That's why T is dedicating that kind of time. T and Tony dedicate that kind of time to cheat because it's such a vast thing. People cheat for different reasons. So I'll give my personal reasons on why I've cheated in the past, so that way I don't project on anybody out there and they ain't not out there feeling guilty or somebody's listening and with a significant other and side eyeing them. So
Hold
I'll
on,
just give my personal.
hold on, hold on, hold on one
About to
second.
get good.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
For those who are watching, feel free to comment. Feel free to join into the conversation. If you really want to talk, we'll pull you into the show. Leave your comment. Let us know how you feel. If it's some input that you would like us to know or talk about, make sure you put it in the comment section. Go ahead, Big.
Right. And just so you know, that ticker across the bottom is the Cash App for We Talk Weekly. That's $ We Talk Weekly, spelled exactly how it sounds. Make sure you guys are donating to the platform so they can grow and reach a larger audience because this platform is needed. So the personal reasons I cheated in the past was because I felt like I was being cheated on. Like that's one instance. Um, my own insecurities, I was having, mental health issues, which fortunately for me, I'm not one of those people who doesn't think mental health is that doesn't need to be addressed because I'm actively in therapy as we speak. So for me, my anxiety, my own insecurities led me to cheat. I felt like I was being cheated on. One reason I cheated when I was younger is because um, the young lady that I was with didn't, wasn't into certain things, and I came across somebody who was really into those things, and yeah,
Find the
I
one you
wanted
with.
I wanted the experience. You know what I mean? I wanted to see what was hitting for. This is me being transparent and being honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You guys have a great audience, and I'm not going to cheat the audience. But those are some of the reasons I cheated in the past, and it ultimately boiled down to me not being loyal to my relationship, not being honest in my relationship, and just my own insecurities led the combination of those things led me to cheat. Now, currently, I am not a cheater. Okay.
Mm.
Point is,
He's making
I
it
got to put that out there because I don't want you guys like Kevin Hart me
graduated.
20 years ago. You know what I mean? 20 years, that happened 20 years ago. You guys trying to hold me accountable for it now. But more importantly, I think the biggest thing we can do as people in relationships so that we won't get cheated on is make better decisions when it comes to choosing significant others, right? If you want to take away the materialistic things and try to see people for who they are, where they are, because if somebody show you who they are, you absolutely have to believe them. Okay, Tiger don't change their stripes. People can grow and evolve, but at the end of the day, some things just become habitual and you kind of want to remove yourself from the situation. But make better decisions when it comes to picking significant others. Don't be impressed strictly by, and I posted this the other day, and I'm going to talk about it on my show come Tuesday. Shout out to Angry OG and comedian Top Flight. That's the rest of my brothers on the Big Exclusive Podcast. But I want to talk about this. I had posted that My job as a dad is to make sure my daughters aren't impressed by what your sons have, right? And when I tell you, I was surprised by the amount of hate that post got from women with sons. And I'm like, I didn't understand it, because I said maybe we need to talk about this on the show and add some context, right? Because the whole reason for me saying that and believing that is I didn't want my daughters to be impressed by certain things when it comes to your sons. I don't want them to be impressed by his money, because my daughters will have their own money, right? They're young entrepreneurs as we speak. I don't want them to be impressed by a car, because if they want the car, they can own it. I want them to be impressed by things that don't revolve around money, things that don't revolve around the illusion of having money. I want my daughters to be impressed by integrity, honesty. I want them to be impressed by loyalty. I want them to be impressed by things that aren't tangible. Okay. So I can't wait to have a more extensive conversation about that on my podcast, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so check yourself, get some mental help, pick better partners. And that's the other thing. I just want to touch on that a little bit. When it comes to picking a partner, right? And that's where I went to the being impressed. We have to decide what it is that we truly need and want in our lives before we go out picking partners. It's okay, because we feast with our eyes first. It's okay for somebody to look good. You can appreciate the way that they look. But there has to be something more there. You have to dig a little deeper, and you have to ask. That's why I love Life Wednesday with T and Tony. The topics that they delve into when it comes to relationships and being able to relate to people is incredible, because it's so insightful. Like, a lot of the questions I ask now, I got directly from T and her experiences and off her show.
Can I just say something about what you said about the cheating thing, just real quick?
Yes, go for it, please. Go for it.
Of the relationship already being cheated on. So the cheating is that cheating. If there's already cheating going on within the relationship, and what happens from that, it's an action of someone becoming a cheater. Yeah. So when the cheating is already starting within the relationship, between the two.
Right.
Action for somebody to say, okay, there's gonna start now being these cheaters.
Yeah, cheating already started.
I'm sorry, Shannon, for cutting you off like that. I just wanted to make that point.
No. I wish I could have heard the whole thing. It was breaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in clear now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
No, just give it to us again.
Oh, okay. What I said was that on the topic of cheating starts at home in the relationship. The cheater is the action after the fact. So there's something already going on within the relationship that you already are cheating, right? You're cheating each other, meaning that whether it's sexual, whether it's financial, whether it's support, there's cheating happening. Right. The cheater is the action after the fact.
Because there's no communication.
Because there's no communication, right?
Lack of,
right? Lack of communication. Right. So that's what we kind of try to base the premise on, and we'll get more into it on Love Life Wednesday in February. But that's really what we try to let people know, that, hey, most people, whether it's male or female, don't just wake up tomorrow morning and be like, you know what, I'm going to go cheat today. Yeah. That is not what happens.
Become this great cheater.
Yeah, my goal in life is to become this great cheater. That doesn't happen. There is something happening right now in your relationship that you're either choosing to ignore, don't want to talk about, whatever,
the actions of that makes it a reaction.
There you go.
The action within the two of you're cheating each other, whether it's spiritually, mentally, physically, or even financially. That action caused the reaction of becoming the cheater. You can't just wake up and decide you want to be a cheater. No, I ain't gonna lie. Now, you got some men, they do it very professionally.
Yeah.
That's part of what they do. They wake up, they have a female, whatever, companion or wife, and they go do it, and without any conscience. It's part of what they do, whether because they got power or money.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
You got women that stay there with these men, and they don't even like them.
Oh, that's a whole nother bag of
That's
bones.
another bag of bones. I'll tell you, right? Women stay with men that they don't even like.
Yeah. Do you even like him?
That's right. I know that's right. Well, I want you guys to make sure this is the reason why we want you to tune in. Make sure you tune in to Love Life Wednesday. Hey, T, tell them how they can find your platform and tune in and watch Love Life.
Love Life Wednesday is live on my Facebook on T Scott every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We actually been running almost 2-hour shows lately because the conversations have been getting so deep and people's got so many questions that we just go. We don't even stop. 8:30, yeah, 8:30, 8:45, like we're still on air. We also, the best way to get all the shows and everything is to join the group, the Love Life Wednesday group, where we have amazing conversations going on. People post, people ask questions. Sometimes they don't like the responses. Oh, well, that's the way it is. It goes down. But that right now, we're still in the process of building our YouTube channel and looking at purchasing a whole new platform of equipment and everything for 2022 so that we could take this to another level. But right now, we're doing pretty good back on Facebook Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at T Scott on Facebook Live.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, guys, I don't want you to go anywhere. You're listening to WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5. We talk weeklies after the talk, man, and we're everywhere. If you ain't there, you a square. We're where the cool people hang out. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about our new platform, our new studio, some of the things and places that we have been and where we're going. But first, I don't want you to go anywhere. We got Roxanne Shantae want to tell you where to listen, and then we're coming back with big exclusive. He's going to give us his rundown of 2021. You ready for me, Big?
I'm ready for you, bro.
All right, hold tight.
Hey, this is Roxanne Shantae, and your week cannot be complete unless you listen to or watch We Talk Weekly. Please believe me, baby.
It's on you.
Damn, we came back fast as a We really is back live. So my rundown of 2021. I'm gonna mix some national headlines and all of that, and I'm gonna mix some of my personal stuff in there because y'all know me by now. Y'all know how I do. So my rundown for 2021. Some things happened that made me raise an eyebrow because a lot of time I feel like art imitates life, and some of the stuff that's happening in the world, I feel like art has already been predicted either by like The Simpsons or some type of artist or some type of comedian. So I think comedy is so important. But without further ado, some of my favorite moments and what I've felt about 2021. Number one, Jeff Bezos and his brother going into space. And I think Eddie Griffith talked about it in one of his comedy specials, or somebody talked about, yo, they trying to leave Earth and leave black people behind. But rest assured, if y'all leave Earth, we coming too. Ain't leaving us no damn well. Something that really annoyed the shit out of me this year. Sorry about the language. I'm sorry, but it really annoyed me. That young guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, getting off for murder. That really got under my skin. And I don't condone unaliving people. But if somebody ever feels threatened by him, I mean, karma's a bitch. The Capitol riot, that kind of sent me for a tailspin because I think a few months prior to that, it was some black people who were at the Capitol and they weren't even allowed access. They couldn't even go up the steps, but they allowed this basic insurrection by these people to storm the Capitol building. And, some people lost their lives, but for the most part, I don't understand why a lot more people wasn't executed for that type of behavior. And I always, I always go back to, I can't imagine if that was black people. That would be like mass murder. Yeah, they would have killed all of them. One of the highlights for me, again, I don't think jail's a place for anybody, but for special pieces of you know what. But Derek Chauvin getting convicted for the murder of George Floyd kind of made me feel a little bit better. Something that kind of threw me for a tailspin, and I was really sad about the tragedy at Astro World with Travis Scott, and a couple people lost their lives. The 9-year-old lost his life, and per reports that I'm getting come out is that Travis didn't even know that was going on. But there's so many lawsuits surrounding this. It's hard for him to speak and defend himself for something that's probably indefensible, really, because I don't know what triggered the riot, but that was a lot of people rushing. I saw the footage, and a lot of people was rushing that doorway, and it was kind of tragic to see that young boy lost his life because he was probably just out trying to see one of his musical heroes, and he lost his life. And I think that was pretty sad. COVID, again, 2021, COVID scares the SHIT out of me. We done had Delta, Lambda, and now Omarion, as the black people would say. You see the memes of or the gifs of him dancing into the screen. You know how we do, man. We add sauce and we add flavor for everything, man. We set the trends for the world, and I hope one day we realize we is the sauce, and we capitalize off that by supporting each other and creating that sauce for the world, because they take cultural appropriation is real. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna make that hard line, not on this platform. I'll do it on my podcast. But cultural appropriation is real. Let's just stop letting them win off of our flavor, our swag, and stop letting them make you feel inferior about your skin color and your curly hair or whatever like that. We is the sauce. We set the trends. We make cool. Okay. Biden getting elected, but more importantly, Trump getting his ass up out of here. He's been banned from every social platform. That super tickles my fancy. That makes me happy. I don't have to be exposed to his nonsense anymore. So I'm gonna shift a little bit. Some of the personal things for me for 2021 that were huge. I got into crypto, NFTs, DeFi, and digital real estate.
I gotta stop you there, because we have to have a conversation about that, and you jumped into it without hollering at your boy, man. So we gotta have a conversation after this, my brother.
Hey, listen, and and the whole reason I'm bringing it up, bro, is because this is all right. We missed so many .com rushes, the green rush, because they was locking us up for the shit that, again, we made we cool and acceptable, and now so we missed the green rush because they priced us out, but we cannot miss this digital currency wave. Okay, is digital real estate out there worth more money than you could ever imagine? And in less than 6 months ago, it was worth nothing. You could have got it for nothing.
Crazy.
It's crazy. So I have two brothers that I work with. I'm gonna make sure we talk behind the scenes, and I make sure I introduce you to them, bro, so y'all can kind of again feed off each other platform. WJMS is not being left out. WJMS is not being left out, but they have a platform called By the Hood. Okay, it's called By the Hood. It's Jimmy and Corey, and I'm telling you, these two brothers are brilliant. They don't mind giving out the information. They want us to win. And I did business with them first. That's what I'm going to say to all my people of color. Don't just go asking for information. A lot of people work hard and owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to get these degrees and to get the knowledge. Make sure you at least offer to do some business with them first, okay? I bought them NFT masterclass before I ever asked to speak to one of them personally on the phone. I bought the class, I did the studying, and then I reached out, and they had no problem picking up and giving me any information that I asked for. Point is, just don't go in there panhandling with your hands out. Make sure you guys are adding value or bringing value or supporting. That's why We Talk Weekly has that $ We Talk Weekly Cash App under there. And I don't keep mentioning that because it's cool. I'm mentioning it because I put my money personally where my mouth is, and
Right.
they can tell you that. Okay.
Right.
So make sure you guys donate to help grow the platform. But we have to get in on this crypto wave, this digital currency wave. You can buy, it's so amazing. You can buy cryptocurrency, be it Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you could do what's called staking, which means the hard part of the biggest drawback about cryptocurrency is the energy that's used and the exchanging of the coins and these contracts being generated. They have gas fees, which are truly high. But what happens is you can buy cryptocurrency and do what's called staking, which means you'll put your crypto up as a guarantor for a transaction on the blockchain to make it go through faster and save less energy. And what happens is you get a piece of that transaction and that gas fee. Just a little tidbit. Please, please, please make sure you guys go check out By the Hood. Jimmy and Corey doing great things. They're teaching about this crypto wave. I don't want us to miss it. It's going to make more millionaires than any other rush that ever existed, because we are moving towards a metaverse. If you don't understand what a metaverse is, please do your research. And I'm sure you guys are going to do a show about that as well, because I'm putting the pieces in place right now so I could do a symposium about the metaverse for our people, so that we can get people that can break it down to lay terms, so that we understand and we know where to go to make these investments. Okay, because a lot of times people start talking about blockchain and DeFi and crypto and blockchain. We have no clue what that means. Ignorance is no longer bliss for people of color. We have to educate ourselves, but I'm bringing people who can break it down to lay terms so that we understand, and they're going to give you places that you can go that are trustworthy for you to make your investments and to get into crypto safely. I don't want anybody to get, jerked out of their savings and nothing like, because we all playing with money that we could use somewhere else. Okay. It's hard out here. You need two incomes. So that's one of the last things I wanted to talk about, is I wanted to give a major shout out to my daughters, Kaylin and Cameron. Kayla with Mlk Cosmetics. She is doing her thing. She's come up with different colors of lip gloss with crystal clear and pearl and prickly pear. Kayla is doing her thing with lip gloss, lip balm, lip scrub, lip oil. So head over to Mlk Cosmetics. That's MEWAH Cosmetics. Or no, it's Mlk by Kayla on Instagram. Okay, MEWAH BYKYLA. Mlk by Kayla. And Mlk means luxury and Sudanese. She came up with that name, doing a little research on Google, and she doing her thing. So I need you guys to support my baby, Kayla. Cameron is going through a rebranding. She used to be Cammy Cakes, but she is no longer Cammy Cakes. She is now Little Exclusive Bakery. So I'm big exclusive, and she Little Exclusive with the bakery.
I love it.
It's spelled just like it sounds. Little Exclusive Bakery. Right now, she's baking chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chip toffee, and oatmeal raisins. Please go show my baby some love. I would appreciate it immensely. Even if you're not ready to buy anything, just follow their Instagram. Every time they get a follower, they thankful, they're appreciative, and they send a little note, say thank you for the follow. So please support my babies.
Fantastic. Like I said, I mean, it's a reason why Facebook changed their name. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Metaverse.
Caught that. So we have to. One thing, what's interesting about you saying that, it's on the ground level. This is the great equalizer that I say. You know how they didn't put us in position to have all of the millions and all that generational wealth that they left. Well, we have opportunity at this point to kind of equalize that playing field, so to speak. We're at the ground level. We're starting with everyone. And so because of that, we have to make sure that we get in and don't think that it's so foreign that it's, because there was one time where people was looking at the internet like, oh, what's that?
Right. Absolutely.
How long is that going to last? They said that about hip hop.
Yeah.
How long is that going to last? Right? They said that about what was it? Amazon. Who's going to buy something online like that?
Right. Exactly. Amazon started out as a bookstore. Online bookstore.
So my mother, I remember my mother telling me that they were selling Apple stock for a penny on the boardwalk.
Hey man,
Selling for a
listen,
penny.
I got one of the most heartbreaking stories on the planet, bro.
Right.
So I want to say this was 2000. I want to say like 7, 6. So back then I had a hustle going, big exclusive, got a hustle, bro. So back then I had a hustle going. I was selling like the what was the software that taught you how to speak another language? And
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. It used to come
Yeah,
in
I
like
forgot about that.
8, 9 discs, right?
Yeah.
And it used to cost you like hundreds of dollars. All right, so I bought a multi CD burner. Long story short, the guy who I would get the original disc from was a Cambodian guy in South Philly named Daniel. Now he told me, I had went down there one day. He was like, "Yo, I just bought a new computer. I'm mining Bitcoin." I'm like, "Man, just give me like." I came down to get my work. Like, just give me the work. He like, "Look, bro, it's working. I already got 5 Bitcoin." I'm like, 5? How long you been running it? He was like, 3 months. I'm like, man, I ain't. He's like, I could build you a computer and you could do the same thing. I said, man, how much is the computer? He said $700. $700. I could have had mining Bitcoin back then. By the time he was done mining, before it got too big, when Bitcoin hit like 12,000, Daniel disappeared. He deleted his face.
And I'm off the grid.
Yo, so I'm
Enough
thinking,
money to do something.
like that was like at the time that Bitcoin started to explode, it was like 18, 19, right before the pandemic. I'm like, yo, that shit at $30,000 a coin. Now just imagine, 3 months he mined 5 coins. That was like 10, 11 years worth of mining. I can't find Daniel no more. It's safe to say Daniel is out of here. He is living the lap of luxury, and my dumb ass for punk $700 would not make the investment to mine Bitcoin. Tragic.
He in Medellin right now.
Yeah, he probably went back home. He probably went back home and living like a king. He probably in
King, yep,
Cambodia
that's it.
living like a
King
king.
Daniel.
King Daniel.
That's
Okay?
right. KD.
Amazing. But this is why I refuse to miss this opportunity, man, because it's still room to get in. Don't let those huge numbers like Bitcoin trading for 48,000 or 50. Don't let that intimidate you, okay? Because it's only going to grow and get bigger. Some projections got Bitcoin topping out at $250,000 per coin, right? And it's only 49,000 now. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is basically for educational purposes only. But
Disclaimer,
right? Whatever you can do. If it's $10, Cash App allows you to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin.
There you go.
Well, on the financial side, I can advise.
Yes, T has a degree in finance. Okay,
I will say this.
finance.
Yeah, I will say this. So on the investment side, I always tell people there's a book out called Financials for the Non-Financial Manager. So it's a book that if you are interested in doing stock or interested in getting into any type of investment, the one big thing that you want to know about any company is their balance sheet. If you can figure out their balance sheet, that tells you everything you need to know how good that company is going to be during a pandemic or anything. Know the balance sheet. I always tell people if you have debt and your debt is at 17, 18%, it's probably not a good time for you to actually buy stock and invest. Get rid of the debt as much as possible. You're going to always have debt, but get rid of it as much as possible, because you got to understand something. If you're only earning X amount of dollars on a savings account, but you are paying out 18, 19% on a credit card, it makes absolutely no sense. So I always say work in a pyramid way where you take the lowest bill, you pay it off, and you take that money and start paying it off down until you get to the big one at the bottom where everything is paid off. It's very hard to get debt free right now, especially with COVID. People are living off of credit cards and different things like that. So just be mindful to just educate yourself as much as possible when making any type of investment. It's imperative that you do your homework and educate yourself on that. And that's why I say if you can take a business course, great. But you're talking about it took me at least 10, 15 years to be able to read financials and stock reports and stuff like that. So it's best that you just talk to the right people that can help you and advise you in the right way with your money, but just make sure you're doing something, whether it's working towards getting your debt manageable or developing. I tell you a big trick that we're doing at work. If you're interested, real easy. Get a box of 100 envelopes and put $100 bill in each one of those envelopes. And at the end of the 100, you save $10,000. So you just take a box of 100 envelopes. Go get it from Five Below or whatever. Every time you could just take $100, you seal it. You do not open it until you have depleted that whole 100 envelopes. And just to tell you, Amazon sells with $39.99. Right. They sell an adult piggy bank that you cannot open until you take a hammer to one corner, and that breaks the whole box. But it has a tiny slot that you can stick these envelopes in. And when you reach 100, you have achieved $10,000 in savings. You can either use it to pay off debt, do a home improvement or something. So, just there's a many ways you can do it, but make sure you're keeping an eye on debt rate versus savings rate. And if you're interested in stock, do dogs. It's called something called Dogs of the Dow. These are dogs that the Dow Jones has said they're dog stocks, but they have actually outperformed the Dow Jones anyway. So those can be beginner stocks if you were interested in doing that as well.
There you go. Well, there's a little bit of financial advice. Listen, look, if you don't know anything, you know how to open up an envelope, put some money in there, and seal it. We didn't have envelopes. We had between the mattress and the Nike box.
The Nike box or the Timberland box.
In the Nike box, right? And so if you want to do anything, just put a couple pennies to the side so you can save anything. We at the top of that. We're a little bit past the hour, but when we come back, we got the sizzle. I don't want y'all to go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all. Hold tight.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
So the sizzle wanted to get cute real quick, put something on her lips. So this is what we going to do before we get there. Make sure you tune in. Let me tell you a little bit about our new studio that we're in right now. Creative Media Studios, creative and content alternative media here in Clifton Heights. This is the place to be. You're looking for a studio, you definitely want to come here. Why are we here? Because we have some space. We have equipment. We have the place that you would like to be. So all you new podcasters and y'all looking for a place to be, if you're creative, this is definitely the place to be. Creative Media, inbox me, let me know. I'll give you all the content. I'll give you all the information because this is the place to be. And it's Black business. We talk about Black businesses. We talk about creating generational wealth. We're talking about supporting each other. And this is the place to be. When you get here, you're talking about something crazy in square feet. You won't even believe me if I told you, right? But you're talking about a place. We'll probably have a couple events here. I might have an independent media kind of like get together gathering after Omarion get away here. We trying to let him get out so we can invite everybody back. But without further ado, we got the sizzle. Sizzle, you ready for me?
I'm ready.
We got the sizzle. Hold tight, y'all. Give it to me early.
All right, y'all. Y'all trying to come at my neck. I couldn't get on here with some ashy lips. Anyway, so although 2021 it pales in comparison to 2020, it definitely had some hiccups and it gave us some flashbacks that we never really wanted to have after that crazy 2021. So here are 10 celebrity news stories that sent shockwaves through the nation. Not really in any particular order, but Prince Harry and Meghan's tell all sit down with Oprah Winfrey. Oh my gosh, it got realer than real on this one. So when the royals, the former royals, started spilling that tea, oh my gosh. So Harry's riff, they talked about Harry's riff with his brother Prince William, Meghan and Kate's low key beef. So everybody thought it was all cool just a week ago, but that beef, was a little crazy. So, and they also talked about how the baby was discriminated against because of his mixed race. But that whole interview, y'all, that left the royal palace with a lot of explaining to do. I don't know. I was here for it the whole time, though. Anyway, so number two, we lost arguably one of the most greatest rappers of all time, depending on what your top five, your top fave five, or whatever is. But DMX, man. So X, he suffered a heart attack at his home on April 2nd. He was in a coma in the hospital for several days and he did not survive. And it's just crazy. We I don't know. I think Peanut might have some losses. She might still have some losses also on the music side because we lost a lot of people in music. But this was just heavy. The official cause of death revealed that a cocaine-induced heart attack caused a lack of blood circulation to his head. So he was pronounced dead on April 9th. And that's just, such a huge loss for the hip hop community. Number three, Sharon Osbourne. Who remembers this? Sharon Osbourne, she was fired from the talk show The Talk after her controversial comments and support of her friend Piers Morgan, who has for a long time made some racist comments about Meghan Markle. So we're not even going to get into Piers Morgan and why he was making those comments because, Meghan left him at the curb and then she went on and found her prince. So he just been throwing shade ever since. But back to the talk, in the March 19th episode, Sharon failed to condemn Piers Morgan's racist actions. And she was kind of getting a little nasty and talking over co-host Cheryl Underwood. Very nasty. And people were just not having it. They weren't here for that. So they were coming for her on social media. And next thing you know, she tried to issue an apology, but the apology, nope, no, boo boo. It was over for her. So she is out. She was out of the talk. Number four. This one, I was just shaking my head, but grand opening, grand closing. Hip hop mogul Jay-Z, he opens his Instagram account. He got a whopping 1.6 million followers and he shut it down all within 24 hours. Were we surprised? Was anybody surprised about that?
No.
I actually was surprised because Jay has never been somebody that shows, he's real, private. Yeah. He's always been like that. So I didn't even get a chance to go and see because the news was, they were blowing it up like, Jay-Z opened up an Instagram account and da-da-da. By the time I caught the news and went to go to the account, it was no user found. I was like, dang. I was surprised though. I was kind of surprised. All right, number 5, Bennifer. What? Bennifer back on again? Like, honestly, I didn't see this coming. I did not see this one coming. Jennifer Lopez had rekindled with an old flame, Ben Affleck, following her abrupt breakup with Alex Rodriguez. So A-Rod, he was accused of cheating on J-Lo with Southern Charm reality star Madison LaCroix. Well, A-Rod had denied the rumors, but unfortunately, him and J-Lo, he and J-Lo, they broke up and called it quits. And I'm thinking like, because they broke up a couple times. I was like, oh, maybe they might get back together. Next thing I know, J-Lo is hanging out with Ben. I was like, wow. Okay. Yes. yes. I was just like,
Mess.
you can't keep my girl J-Lo down.
I don't know what was messier, that or P or Puff Daddy. What we call him? Diddy posting up a picture of J Lo.
Gotta get them all.
I'm gonna go in on
Yo, kudos to the internet though. The internet are the real MVP. When I tell you they called this from the door, they called this from the moment it happened. They called it from the moment it happened. Shmoye. Yeah. Shout out to the internet. They the real MVP. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
yeah, because it wasn't adding up after a while. Number 7, Kim and Kanye separated. Now I saw this coming, but I kind of sort of saw it coming years ago. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't think they were going to be around at this point. Like I didn't think they was going to make it this long, but they did. You know, they're separated. Kim appeared on SNL with Pete Davidson, and this one threw me for a loop. Now she's dating him. And then she wore some Yeezys on a date with him. Like, dag. What's that phrase? Like, never buy a girl boots because she'll
walk out your life.
She'll walk out your life. That was messed up. Like, I would have done that, but good luck to Pete and Kim. Number 8, Britney Spears. This conservatorship finally came to an end after 13 years.
Shout out to Brit fan. I remember that. Shout out to Brit. I like Brit.
Yo, but you know, all jokes aside, her fans, like those fans are dedicated. But I was kind of like, I don't know. I was feeling some type of way because I'm like, Dad, can you imagine if we had that same level of support for Brianna? We had that same level of support for Brianna. Yeah. You know, I
say her name. Say her name.
Yes.
Say her name.
Yes. I ain't want to, hate, because I'm like that. It just was getting to me. I'm like, this is really all over money. Like, rich fighting over. She want control of her money, and here we got these,
I mean, good is good, is wrong is wrong. I mean, it is what it is. Man. Right. They did her dirty.
They really did. They really did. But it finally came to an end. Britney was under the conservatorship since 2008. She had a mental health breakdown in 2007, and then the judge ruled that her estate would be under the full control of her father, Jamie Spears, including her financial, her personal, and medical affairs.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yes, and Britney's fans, they started the hashtag Free Britney movement in 2009 after they were seeing something's not right about this, just seeing some suspicious activity over the conservatorship. But Britney, she did go through a lot, and a lot of people were supporting her. She was hospitalized a couple times for mental health evaluations. The conservatorship was supposed to end a couple times, and it kept getting extended and basically had her like in a prison. But in 2019, Jamie Spears, her dad, was accused of abusing her son, Britney's 14-year-old son, Sean. So then he had to kind of step down as the primary conservator. But finally, on November 12th, 2021, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge, Brenda Penny, she decided that the conservatorship was no longer needed and it was terminated.
Yeah, good.
So Britney is free.
Give us free.
What's next?
Give us free.
I don't know. What's next for Britney?
I love Britney.
Yeah,
No.
I know. I loved her and Justin. I was.
Jeez, now you talk way back.
Throwback.
I know, right?
You know how you got your certain couples, like they'll always be like couples, like for me, Nicki Minaj and Meek. Those are my favorite couples. Jennifer Aniston and Brad. I'm sorry, y'all. I got in my bag. I'm sorry.
You really look heartbroken though.
That's the problem. See, shout out to Love Life Wednesday. Shout out to Love and Relationship. But honestly, this is how I feel about all that. I mean, it's kind of like I can't.
Oh, you always
That ain't right. That ain't right, Charles. That ain't right.
Hating.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Alec Baldwin's that fatal shooting of the cinematographer, Helena Hutchins. That was just a whole mess. I couldn't believe that. It happened during an on-set film rehearsal on October 21st. Baldwin was slated to star in and produce the film Rust, but he tried to deny pulling the trigger. He was like, I don't know what happened. And, and he did the interview with George Stephanopoulos. Say that 10 times. And then he tried to tell his side of the story, but it's like, I don't know. And it was a lot of accusations of like, I can't think of the word. When it's like employment, like work conditions. The work conditions weren't.
Why was there a live gun on the set anyway?
Yeah,
that's the big question.
That was questions I had, because there's so many things that are supposed to go through. Like there are regulations and rules and protocols for live ammunition on set, so there shouldn't have been a loaded gun out like that anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. That just didn't make any sense to me. I don't know, but that was tough, and unfortunately, somebody lost their life, and somebody was shot, and she was, held as one of the greatest cinematographers, and she had all these accolades that they were giving her. So that's terrible. But my final one, number 10.
Hold up, before you get there, shout out to Melanie Scott. Well, let me bring her comment up real quick because hold on, where it go? Melanie, where you at? Where you at? Oh, here you go, Melanie. She said she don't know who was who. And see, that's what I'm talking about, because this is how I feel about it. I mean, I can't take it. A lot of these rich people relationships. That's
Hollywood relationships are like regular relationships are they age, and Hollywood relationships are like dog years. Like
that's a good one. That's a
He's
good
gonna
one.
keep hitting you with it.
2 years is like 14 for a regular person, for a regular relationship.
I'm done.
All right, so my final one, number 10. Oh my gosh, this hurts me so much. Betty White.
Yeah, that was sad.
Damn.
That hurt me right there. All my nights to stand up late watching the Golden Girls, the marathon that come on TV Land. She was the last of the Golden Girls to die, and she passed on New Year's Eve, just weeks before what would have been her 100th birthday. I think that's what made it like sting so much that people were like just praying that she make it to 100. But needless to say, millions of her fans, including myself, we were all stunned, especially since they were planning her 100th birthday party.
Mm.
Oh man, she was just really, really talented. If you look back over, all the things that she was in, and even recently her commercials, like the Snickers one.
Yes.
She was funny. She was on SNL, But yeah, that
Just
was.
make me want to sing the song though.
Did you hear the ghetto version?
The remix. But listen, I had heard that like last year sometime.
Yes.
That's one of the ghetto version. That's the only version for me now.
After I heard that, I was like, I can't even listen to it no more. Yeah. Oh man.
And Betty, she was one of the last real blonde bombshells, like platinum blonde too.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And I forget the.
I see you, Lee.
Yeah, that the one of the hosts from The View said, I would like to see a Golden Girls with all black or women of color instead of, because they were all white and very.
I don't want to
see that. We could do something. We could do our own thing. We don't need it to be a Golden Girls.
That's Jamie. I'm right there with you, Jamie.
Hold on.
Yeah, like if we redid the Wonder Years, like we didn't have to make it the Wonder Years. We could have made our own show and been straight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, Sizzle, who said that? Who?
The Latina host. I can't think of her name.
Of what show?
The View.
Oh, shout out to The View. You
exactly.
That's my girl.
Exactly.
Like some stuff is better untouched. Like I could go as even far as saying Sex in the City. They shouldn't have did that. They should have left it alone.
Man, I don't care about that neither, bro.
Put the baby back up. Put the baby back up.
No, right?
My thing is,
right. The Matrix too.
Here we go.
Yeah, that one.
and I heard they was remaking Scarface. I heard they were remaking Scarface.
What?
You can't remake Scarface. You can't do it.
No, it's coming, bro. It's coming, bro.
Oh my
It's
God.
coming. My issue is, like I said earlier,
Washington to do that part.
like I said earlier, we set.
You need to leave that alone.
I know.
We decide the culture. We set the trends. We make everything look good. There's so many creative people of color out here with original stories that can't get greenlit because people keep making stupid suggestions like that. Okay. Now, what I would say is, again, a platform like this, and there's a couple other I'll talk about with you, Charles, behind the scenes, are trying to do some really innovative things when it comes to people of color and making art. Okay. There's enough talented people with original ideas who just need help to make them come to fruition. Because one of the things, you can say whatever you want about Tyler Perry, right? I just seen a meme this week. Tell me it's a Tyler Perry movie without telling me it's a Tyler Perry movie. It was like a bad wig. It was a bad wig.
Oh,
you gotta love pop culture, and internet is undefeated. But the point I was trying to make is there's so many great artistic, creative people of color with some awesome original ideas that just don't get the opportunity because of suggestions like, let's remake Scarface, let's do a Black Golden Girls or Latino Golden Girls or the Wonder Years or whatever else they trying to remake, reimagine, when there's so many great original stories out there as well. Stop keep giving us the same people of color stories, and let's just start letting these creatives do what they do. Let the writers write great original scripts, and let's get behind them and produce those scripts. Now, here's the thing. We're coming to a point where we can release content as NFTs. And I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah, see, that's, so we're going to have a conversation.
I'm going to stop right there.
Shout out to all the people who's watching. Shout out to Melody Scott. I like Melody.
I'm gonna stop right there.
And if you have any comments, anything that you want us to talk about, want us to touch on, if you know any content or any show that you feel like need to be remade, how about that? If you know a show that need to be remade,
no, you perpetuating the bullshit.
I know,
Charles.
right?
Don't do that.
Look. So if you don't need to be remade, then let us.
There it is. Don't touch it. Certain stuff, don't touch it. Like it's cool. Like I'm telling you, we have some great stories. We have some great stories.
Jesus, guys, man. And so yeah, shout out. This is We Talk Weekly After Talk, WPP Mlk Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk, and we're here with some of the beautiful people, some of the relationships that we have built over the years, man. Lawrence Sizzle, Lily's in the building, Jamie Jam. Shout out to Jay. Love Life Wednesdays, the two T's, the two towers right there, and my guy, Big Exclusive. And thanks everybody for tuning in. This is something that we like to do. We do this. We listen. They say the revolution won't be televised. Well, guess what? It's televised today. You gonna learn today because we don't back up when it comes to certain things, and I'm excited because guess what we got coming up next. Jamie, you ready for me?
I'm ready, man. Stay ready, so I don't got to get ready.
I know that's right. I love it. So before you do that, I got a quick little commercial real quick. Make sure you support Cash App. We Talk Weekly, man. We can do and deal, and we'll appreciate any donation that you have. This is how we do. We do it like we doing it for TV, because this is where all the cool people at. If you're not here, you a square. So check this out. We Talk Weeklies after the talk. Jamie Jam, holla at your boy.
Yes. So, all right. So my top roundup. So y'all, I wasn't here for the whole show, but I've seen a lot of it at this point. I am going to hit y'all with some cultural stuff, some political stuff, some health stuff, a little bit of everything, just stuff from my 2021 wrap up. First and foremost, as a hip hop head, Nas won his first Grammy for King's Disease, which I thought was kind of crazy because give that man his flowers. He should have had them that a long time ago. Like real talk. That to me was like, what? Why is this his first Grammy? And you had to go back and research like he really has not gotten a Grammy. Anyway, that one. This part right here, this just happened. Like, and this one like hurts for the culture. The ending of Insecure. That was big. That was big. And I'm like, I watched that series straight through like everybody else. I even went and watched the ending, like the wrap up of it, which tied it up in a pretty little bow and really made me just respect so much more what Issa did with that show, because I had no idea. Like, I love the show. I was like, yo, Insecure had the best soundtrack. They had the best clothes, the best hair, all that. Like, it was just real. And I didn't realize how much effort went into all of that until I watched that wrap up. And I was like, damn, that just made me love that show so much more, that it hurts that much more to lose that for the culture. So that for me, like 2021, that broke my heart right there. Yeah. We lost a lot of good people in 2021. Like you said, DMX, we lost DMX. We lost General Colin Powell. We lost Michael K. Williams. We lost Cicely Tyson. We lost Young Dolph. We lost Biz Markie, Hank Aaron. Like a lot of people we lost in 2021. It was like 2021 like held no punches. And then to end it with Betty White was just another slap in the face. Simone Biles, I love that girl to death. She revolutionized so much for Olympic sports, and the fact that she stepped away from the Olympics to focus on her mental health, which was kind of a force anyway, not a force, but I mean, she was forced to do that because like she trained her whole life for that. She trained her whole life to be the best at what she did, so much so that she was so good that the judges didn't know how to grade her. They were like, she's too good at this. And like, imagine working your whole life to be good at something. You finally get to the highest achieving point where you can get, and they tell you, no, you're too good. Like, we don't know what to do with you anymore, so you can't compete. Like that right there, that to me wasn't cool. But the fact that she stepped away,
excellent black girl magic,
right there. Like we always come correct. But her stepping away to take care of her mental health, I think, did numbers for that community. Like that alone helps with the stigma, because when major figures like her admit that they too need to step back, that's important. It's very important. So I think that was something that was major. And on the political front, real quick, and that's the last thing I'll say. I have some other personal things, but I'm not going to go into those. The voting process. This was a big deal, I think. The fact that they had absentee ballots, early voting, And like all of those extra provisions they made to make sure that people could get to the polls during COVID season made it way more accessible for people to vote and get their voices heard and to like actually participate in our democracy. And it changed the scope of voting and politics in the country. And I think that that's something that's absolutely major. It kind of got not slid under the rug a little bit, but I don't want to leave out of 2021 without saying, you know, that was something that was amazing. That was a good thing that they did. And I think that that was something that's going to change the scope of how we vote and move forward as a country going forward and stuff like that. So those are my tops.
Fantastic. You got you got Madam Touch who jumped on and said, "Yup." Touch,
Hey.
jump on.
Touch, what's happening?
Yeah, jump on real quick if you can.
It's a reunion.
Yeah.
Look at all the family in the building right now. Yo, that's so much love.
Absolutely. I will be, remiss if I didn't acknowledge her when it comes to We Talk Weekly, because yeah, she was a huge part of that. So kudos to her. She always got love over here. I'm always part of the show.
Hey man, you got to do the independent media and creatives thing, bro. You got to do it at the new studio space, and I'm throwing my hat in the arena to help you make that possible, bro.
No doubt, I appreciate
like
that.
we said, I'm on you. I'm on you, because that's just too dope, man. Like we need to make that happen.
We need to make that happen. I mean, and being able to just put all of the independent media. We talking about all of the podcasters, all of the photographers out there that be, that be on the front lines. The people who's taking the pictures when I'm on the red carpets. I mean, we made a lot of contacts. We made a lot of connects, and I'm proud to just acknowledge everybody that's out there who's even writing the stories, the bloggers. I mean, that's all independent media, the writers. Shout out to and kudos to the Association of Black Journalists, Philly Association of Black Journalists. I got to give kudos to them, which we are, members of. And so it's one of those things where if we don't do this and we don't, create those platforms, then who will, without controlling the narrative, right? And so we have to make sure that we have those platforms that we can speak honestly, freely, without worrying about, certain advertisers like, oh no, that might be a little too touchy. We operate on the people. We the people's champ, and so you can't imagine how many people who, stop me in the street like, yo, ain't you that guy? Yeah, that's him. He be that. He be that, And so I'm just proud of that. I'm proud of my folks. I'm proud of my people. I'm proud of all of you guys that's in this particular space, because one thing that even Tish would say, we are the culture. We are the culture.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's no rap about that. We are the culture, And so real quick, because we about to get into some music real quick. But one of the things that you guys forgot about that I think, really polarized generations. My girl, take a listen to this real quick.
When I watch grown folks, I'm sorry, I understand the babies. But when I watch us commenting, I'm like, you too grown for that, baby. Right. You too grown for that. Because I don't know of any king that wants his queen to represent his kingdom like that.
Yeah. I think that, because I read some of the comments as well, and most of the women seem to have felt like, which you touched on, you said, oh, she's judging us or she's being self-righteous. And you just explained you're not judging because you used to be that person. You're speaking from experience. Then Tokyo Vanity came out and said, some people are going to funerals. Some people are just doing all they can do to get on the plane. What is your response to that?
Nothing's changed. We've always gone to funerals. We've always had things to do. See, if we watch historically, when you watch us, we stepped out with pride. Mm-hmm. We still had all those things to do, as right now we're watching this massacre in Tulsa, and we're watching the documentaries, and are we watching our people?
Right.
Tell me the one you saw out there looking like she didn't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the brother you saw out there looking like, oh, I'm just in a rush, or I'm just flying. I get all of that. I understand it. What I am saying to us is, let's give ourselves enough time to get together. I'm not saying makeup. I'm not saying a full dress. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is look like you care.
Right.
Yeah. So to put that in context, right? She was talking about those bonnets. And when she mentioned that, when I tell you the world caught on fire,
Ignited.
about those bonnets, right?
Mm.
And it's one of those things where it was a divide in culture, right? A divide in generation. And it was interesting to see that, you had people, actually saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be wearing no bonnets outside," and because it was a generation that was saying, like, "Yo, what are you doing? You're not supposed to go out looking a certain type of way." But then you have a younger generation who's like, "Who you think you talking to? This is a style choice for me," right? And so I think both has some. I think both has a position in it. But
No, Charles. No, bro.
I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm very
Charles.
interested.
No.
Hold
Charles.
up. Wait.
No.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to put this. I'm trying to formulate this so we can have a discussion real quick before we get into some music, right?
Right.
That you do have a huge demographic of folks that believe I should be able to do that, and we have to give agency to those who are in a different perspective, different generation that feels a certain type of way. But then we have our wisdom, so to speak, our older folk that we grew up a certain type of way. You had to dress a certain type of way, right? It was a pretty much a target on your back that was able to say that you didn't grow up a certain type of way if you didn't look a certain type of way, right? You can go all the way back to the Harlem Renaissance. Now I'm getting into fashion, right? And so the reason why I'm, creating this narrative like this is because I understand fashion. I understand that trends happen, and it's a lot of people who look at certain things and be like, "Oh, I would never do that," but it turns into something fashionable. We can look at that when it comes to Crocs. I mean, I still would never wear Crocs. I'm sorry, guys. But
Yeah,
that's a
I wouldn't-
fashion statement right
I
now.
wouldn't wear nothing like that with that name.
So you got people that's saying that Monique had a good point in that, you don't wear it in public. That's something that you do in a household. But then you have people like, who are you? Now you got Gucci, Louis Vuitton, people, gravitating to popular culture. Again, you said it earlier, Shannon.
We said
make everything cool.
We said cool. We
said
right.
cool. So now, is that inside thing? Is it for the house, or is that now considered fashionable? And I'll throw it to you.
All right. So a couple things. Number one, bro, your lifestyle. One of the ways that you make your income. You iconic to a lot of artists, especially coming out of Philly. Who's the last person you dressed in a bonnet?
Nobody.
Ever.
Right.
I don't want to hear the fashion argument at all. Okay? Because that's your livelihood and you never did it.
I get it.
Now, here's the other argument for that.
Go ahead.
I agree with Monique because there has never been a time since us being out of slavery that we didn't take pride in the way we stepped outside.
I agree.
Facts.
You just spoke to the Harlem Renaissance. You just spoke to Black Wall Street and our history. When we was getting hosed down, we was in suits. Okay, when the dogs was biting our ankles and our arms and our thighs, they was in dresses.
Yeah, no
Our
bonnets.
women wore beautiful hats. Okay, it was not a period in time when we, as a culture, number one, didn't set fashion. Even when we made cleats cool, right?
Yeah,
there's certain things, bro.
I remember that.
Women. When we made cleats cool, I didn't see no women wearing cleats, bro. Women, our black women are regal, okay? Our black women are royalty.
Right.
And they should present themselves as such. Monique is not asking you to get in the full regalia. She's not asking you to hire a makeup artist to walk through the airport. What she's saying is make the effort to represent not just yourself, But every time I walk out the door, I'm asked to represent my parents. I'm asked to represent my significant other, my kids, my ancestors. Okay? So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear it because these young kids just want to be ignorant, just want to be defiant, just want to think that whatever everything they do and say is right. Like we ain't never been that age.
Yeah, like we jumped out being 53.
This is what I'm saying. Like, again, a lot of what Monique is saying is we're trying to save you the embarrassment. We trying to get you to understand that you don't only represent yourself when you step out in front of the world. And this is why, and the other point to that is this is why a certain demographic looks at us a certain kind of way.
I agree. Akia, and I'll let y'all jump on real quick. I just want to read some of these comments, and then I think Sizzle, you wanted to jump in. Akia said, "I 100% agree with Monique. As a woman, we must represent ourselves better than that." I totally agree. Tish said, "Bonnet versus scarf. If I run to Wawa real quick, anyone, who cares, right? I mean, okay, I get it. Then she laughed at that. How about bonnets in public is equivalent to wearing pajama pants and no bra outside? Whoa, I guess if you swinging around like that, ladies, I mean,
crazy.
It's one of those things, right? And so, I mean,
and men with the pants hanging down. It's crazy.
Oh, man, I could talk about that all day, especially when it comes to my brethren that's locked up, because they'll tell you what that narrative is. Easy.
Real easy.
You know, one of the things I preach when it comes to me being an image consultant, and I wrap it up with, and that's funny. I wrap it up in terms of my wrap up for 2021 is, you know, I was just acknowledged as the first black male in Philadelphia international known image consultant, right? And so I talk a lot about, you know,
bravo to that, bro.
Thank you, my brother. You know, that was a big accomplishment for me. When we talk about being respected by your peers is very important for somebody that's in their scope of work. Being respected by people that's in that scope of work, especially when they don't look like me. Right. And so that's very important for me to have, you know, to acknowledge that. And you know me, I'm a really humble guy, man. I'm a really humble guy. So, you know, I don't necessarily feel like I need to tout certain things, but no, this needed to be acknowledged. And I needed to make sure that people understood that I come with something and I have an understanding, right? And so I say all that to say, to get into when we talk of fashion and the image part of it is all nonverbal. Fashion is all nonverbal, right? It's nonverbal communication. So what you wear, people make snap judgments about you.
Right.
Fact.
Whether you like that or not, whether you like it or not. So to bring this circle when it comes to bonnets, right? You have to ask yourself, are you conveying the message that you want to convey with wearing a bonnet if you go outside? And are you okay with the judgment?
Right, because they bedazzle it.
Right. If you're okay with it, then it's okay. But if you have a certain response from it that you don't necessarily like, well, chances are the message that you're communicating isn't where you're trying to go.
Exactly.
And I'll just leave it at Akia. Oh, shout out to Akia. I like Akia already. She gave me applause for that. I applaud you, sister, my sister. And so, go ahead. I know, Sizzle, you wanted to jump in and say something real quick.
Oh, I just wanted to say, you know, I feel like it's levels to it. You know, just like me personally, I can't really do a scarf. Like run into the store maybe, but like a bonnet. No. And like I recently got into art collecting, and one of the things that I despise the most when I come across black art is that black Americana stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my, who made that up? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Pull up a picture if you can. And it's like when I'm looking at the estate sales and the auctions and stuff like that, when it comes to black Americana art and the way that blacks are depicted in these statues and stuff is horrendous. And in the auctions, those are the things that go for the most money, and that burns me up to the point I was literally going to write the president, like, how can we ban Black Americana art? The same way that they ban like selling elephant tusk and stuff like that, why ivory and all that. Why can't we ban Black Americana? Because it just perpetuates the negativity that, you know, about Blacks that our non-minority counterparts have about us. So when I see some of the Black Americana art, especially like women, it's like we're black as tar. We have these red lips. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. And it's like, I don't know. I know there's people out there that they aren't concerned. Like they don't really care like if somebody looks at them a certain way. But for me and our people, it hurts me that, you know, it continues to give them life, you know, with their negative thoughts and stereotypes that they have about us. So that's my piece.
And Jamie, I seen that you wanted to chime in. I'm gonna bring Levy on in a minute with that because she had a position on that. But Jamie, what was your thought?
I mean, I agree with what Sizzle said. There is levels to it. Bonnet is not going to happen. But for me personally, I actually do wear when I go work out. I work out 6:15 in the morning. Now, for those folks watching, I got creamy crack. Like this is relaxer right here. So when you go work out and you sweating, my hair stays wrapped while I'm working out, and it stays wrapped, and I keep it in my scarf. However, I don't wear my bedtime scarf. I have a scarf, like I have the scarf on, but then I have like another scarf with a like fancy tie in the back.
Yeah,
so it looks
that's
a
right.
little bit more presentable so that when I'm working out, I can still keep my hair wrapped and I can do that.
Looking good.
I look presentable with it. Like I would never wear a bonnet to work out or anything like that, or wear a bonnet out of the house, because it's the image thing. Like it's not the image that I want to portray, regardless of what my hair is doing or what I have going on with my hair. I wouldn't want to put that image out. Now, if I'm working out though, like the scarf has to happen just because like I'm not about to sweat my edges out or whatever. So it's like I got to keep it laid flat.
Go ahead, Lily. What's your thoughts, Lily?
Yeah, no, I'm part of the young community, and my stance is we don't care. we don't care. Okay. And just to say is that it's because I'm hearing all this self-worth, and self-worth comes from within. And it don't matter what I'm wearing, what I'm doing, people are going to judge me regardless. Like Shannon said, like Big School said, we set the trend. So it's like, yes, I might be wearing a bonnet one day. The next day, I'm wearing big hoop earrings, going to an art gallery, and somebody looking at me, oh, she ghetto. But I'm the model in the art gallery. Why are you calling me ghetto? You see how people want to make those assumptions about you they don't even know. I feel like that's how I feel about the conversation with the bonnets. We don't care what anybody says. Literally, we're running. I don't agree with going to schools and bonnets, but to each his own. But you run into the store, you got a bonnet on, you going to the airport. I worn a scarf at the airport because my hair is 4C. If I went to the hairdresser the day before, pinned up, I'm not taking those pins out. Why? Because my curls are going to drop, and that means I have to spend extra time once I get out the airport and recurl my hair. I know those pins are staying in, and so is my scarf. And I don't care what anybody says. So it's like if I do it, and we look at an Asian girl doing it, are y'all going to say she's worthier more than me because she's not black?
So Shannon, I want you to respond to this before you respond though. So she's saying it's more than this. It ain't 3C, it's 4C. So
I don't even know what that means, bro.
I need a tight curl.
Please educate me.
I don't know what a 4C.
So, but I want you to read this. I want you to read this comment. Big, and I want you to respond to the position.
Oh.
The do-rags, talk about it.
No do-rags.
But the men don't get the same.
I don't.
Men get criticized. We get talked, but the men walk out with a do-rag. Oh, okay. Like it's no backlash with that, and that's what I don't like when it came.
It's all jacked up. I don't agree with the do-rag either.
But we're not going to dinner in bonnets, y'all. We're literally running to the store.
Some of y'all do. I've seen it.
Take a picture, Tony, please. If you see somebody in a bonnet going to dinner, please.
I got a picture of one.
That's a mess.
They're not gonna listen to me. That's how they are. They just said it. Charles said they don't listen to nobody.
So go ahead, Big. I want you. You know, we is letting them vent a little bit, but
So just
Can't
just
tell
to
these kids
just
nothing.
to respond to the comment that was put on the screen. No one said it was okay for men to wear do rags to the
Tell it,
airport
Big.
or to the store or to anywhere else. See, that's kind of like a deflection tactic, because if somebody as big as Monique said the same thing about the do rag, we might have similar backlash. The point we trying to make, and what's more important here, is whenever we talk about the foundation of our community, the backbone of our community, and how our community is going to rise above and be able to fight this revolution adequately, we're relying on the Black woman, which is the key to our community, point blank, period. So all she asking is to for our sisters in the community to, now again, just to address what James said, she's at the gym. It's implied that you at the gym, you're going to sweat, you're going to work out. That's acceptable. Nobody's going to question that. Nobody's judging that, right? Tish said, yo, I'm running into the Poppy store real quick. I just need to grab eggs and milk to feed my kids. Nobody's going to question that, because you're in your neighborhood. You're in that direct community in which you live, where you're predisposed to these people every day. What Monique is trying to say, and what I'm agreeing with, is that when you travel out in the world and you representing not only for you, but for your parents and your kids and the ancestors, we're asking that you just put a little bit of effort into it. Now, Lily, I hear you. You got 4C, Dub C, Triple C, Triple OG with the hair. Beautiful. I can appreciate that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, there's a way to keep, like, why can't you just not wear the bonnet and just have the curls out?
Hold on, real quick.
Oh no, now you talk about curlers in the airport or whatever.
I'm gonna let Lily respond to that.
Because I thought it was just pins, right?
Depends. It depends. You might have rods.
Not 3C, it's 4C. So I just want to make sure.
Like lemonade, right?
So
that
listen,
sound like
real
something
quick,
explosive. Is there C4 in it?
You know, you mentioned something about different folks, white folks, and black folks, right? I want you to read this comment, Big, and respond to that real quick.
White folks are not thinking about this stuff. We sometimes put up appearances and it be rooted in slavery and appeasing them. Again, Monique didn't say nothing about white people and how we appear to white people, and I'm not looking at it as how we appear to white people. I'm looking at it how we directly relate to one another and represent our community as a whole. I could give a damn what white people think, because I just spoke to that earlier about cultural appropriation. We set the cool. Gucci is making fucking bonnets. Louis is making bonnets. Why? Because we made it acceptable and we made it cool. We're not worried about what white people think. I don't think Monique is worried about what white people think. I think we worried about representing for each other. I'm going to say it again. You're not just representing yourself. You're representing your kids who are people of color, your parents, people of color, your ancestors, people of color who fought for the right for you to walk through the airport with the bonnet if you want. We just saying it's not a good look. I could give a damn what white people think about anything.
Mm.
I don't agree at all. Like I think this is the problem now with we as black women. Now we gotta accommodate the fact that we wearing a bonnet out. Now we got another issue that we have to worry about. So I think do what you want to do. So what? Like, is it really that big of a deal because a woman wants to wrap her hair up in a bonnet? Like, is it really that deep? I mean, I'm telling you, I just think this is the problem. Here it go again. Now we're responsible for something else that we're doing wrong. You know,
but who made it a big deal, though?
Well, obviously, whoever. I don't know who the people are. I mean, you got people that are
black
saying
women.
This and yeah, but it's like
I don't even think it's black women.
But what I'm saying is that why though? That here again, we are now tearing down each other, making ourselves now responsible for something so. What? Somebody wants to protect their hair in a bonnet. So what? That doesn't mean anything about them personally, who they are or whatever. Look, I'm responsible for me. That's what I feel. I'm responsible for how I go out. I'm not here to judge how so-and-so shows up to the King of Prussia Mall with pajamas on in a bonnet. That's how she wanted to come out. That's how she wanted to come out. I'm not judging her on that. So what? Do what you want to do. I just don't feel we have a place where I can look at Lily and be like, girl, why are you protecting your C4? Like, are you crazy?
C4, I was just playing, baby.
Oh, C4,
That's
whatever.
explosive.
I only know one. Look, I
Yeah.
only know
Why are you
one.
protecting your dynamite?
Yeah, why?
3C.
Why are we protecting? Let's blow it up, Lily. Let's blow it up. You know, like
Yeah.
I just don't agree with it. I think this is a problem now. This is why we got issues, mental issues, all this kind of stuff. We doing this. Now we got to worry about what people think about it.
Well, let me say this. I heard what Big said, that the woman is the black woman is the one that does whatever for the community. I don't believe that. That's the problem with us as black men. I mean, I hate to get biblical, but God gave us dominion. We have to set the tone. It goes from God, man, wife, female, to the children. We have to set the tone of what we want and what we need for our community. If we as black men would be where we need to be, none of this would be happening. I tell her all the time. Before my was seen on the show, all they heard was my voice. She's an extension of who I am. She represents me. So when she goes out, I got to make sure she looks the way she looks at all times. I'm responsible. And then if she does that, she's nurturing my children to be responsible. So when they see it, they see us, they know, oh, because if she look retarded, guess who they're going to talk about? Me. You're going to say, man, her man must not be buying nothing for her.
You know what?
He's trifling.
But wait, hold on, Charles. I think you misunderstood because, Tony, I agree with you. I said the black woman is the backbone to all of that and who we'll be relying on when we have that sort of uprising and revolution that's going to be televised by We Talk Weekly, Love Life Wednesday, WJMS, and the Big Exclusive Podcast. I'm not saying our women should be leading the charge or be responsible for anything. I did a whole symposium on my podcast about protecting our women in ways that I did a whole symposium on that. So I'm not sure what you're disagreeing with, but I'm just saying the backbone to where we want to be as a community is going to be our women. Because what happens is when we're on the front line, there's other peripheral things that need to get done so that we can continue that train rolling. So I get what you're saying, Tony, and I understand and trust me that I agree with you. But again, none of this stuff will be able to be accomplished without the black woman. Just to clarify
is making that. Like
no one's listen. You putting too much emphasis on the bonnet because the discussion was about the bonnet because it sparked that. But that discussion was for black women against black women. The outrage was against black women. The question was, do we agree or disagree? And I gave where I stood on the point.
Well,
that is not going to make or break the revolution.
Start doing their part.
That's not going to make or break the revolution. Just like Lily said. So Lily, are you have a significant other? All right, if you did, and you had your 4C pinned up and fried dye laid to the side, and you on your way to the airport with the bonnet on, can he ask you to take it off and go through without it? I'm not saying the revolution is make or break on a bonnet. It was just the topic of the discussion.
Right.
But I want to say one more thing. And I think it's challenging as a black woman because we get such a bad rap about our hair.
Everything.
Yeah, it's like we're
I know.
And I think I said this in conversation with you one day, Charles. I was talking about something. I was just talking about, what Malcolm X said about the black woman. And, we get scrutinized about our hair. We get scrutinized about our clothes.
Everything.
We get scrutinized about our shape and our curves. And then now you got Kim Kardashian with the Bo Derek braids and it's
trying to be black.
And I kind of I see both sides. I see the women that are just like, look, either way, somebody's gonna have something to say about it. So I'm gonna wear my scarf or I'm protecting my hair. Why can't they educate themselves about the challenges that black women have, maintaining our hair? Like black hair care for women? It's like
You know, I'll say this real quick, and I'll let Lily kind of jump in and retort because she didn't get an opportunity to speak, and I think I want to give her agency for that. But the one thing that I will say, however, especially to Tony, is your position is classic. It lies in classic tradition, right? That's a traditional way of thinking, right? And I think to the point you're seeing you're seeing a divide that's polarizing a traditional way of thinking and now this new kind of modern way of thinking which is coming from a younger generation, right? And so one can say because I to a degree agree with you, right? But what I will say however is that you know there's some that will believe that you're robbing their agency to feel like I act individually as their own person, right? So they can make they and being women can make their own choices in how they feel and what they believe in contrast to what you believe they should be doing, right? And so I think what we can do is just acknowledge that there's two way of thinking and how can we kind of bridge the two in saying, okay, well, I get it and I understand that you can make it, you have agency, you can make your own choices. However, understand that sometimes those choices comes with certain things, right? And this may be the reaction that you will get if you choose to take the blue pill instead of the red pill. I mean, that's the only way I can put it, right? And so
Right.
it's always it will always be a difference in what men think versus women think. And we have to acknowledge that there's differences. And I think that we have to be okay with feeling that I think differently, and it's okay that I think different, right?
Supposed to. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where it is, and I'll leave that there so I can allow Lily to have her agency to respond, and then go into her kind of like rundown, and then we can kind of circle back because we actually almost had the you. Can you believe it's almost 3 hours already?
Oh, I
Goes
believe
by
it.
quick.
I know, right?
Goes by quick.
So Lily, go ahead, holler at me.
I really didn't just have much. I mean, I'm gonna still stand on what I said. It's we don't
Oh,
care.
yeah.
You're gonna get judged regardless of what you got
That's
on.
right.
But like you said, it's I worry like T said. You worry about you. You worry about me. If I feel good, we're walking out to the airport with a bonnet. I know I'm going to take it off the minute I get to my destination. I'll be good. I'll be set. I don't agree with the bonnets going to work, wearing them in work at the school, whatnot. But to each his own. Do you?
That's
Because
alone.
again, we're gonna be judged regardless. And if you want to have a bonnet with some bedazzles and a bow, go ahead.
or turban.
Mhm.
All right, give me some music, Lily. Give me some music.
This your favorite fly guy, Charles Gregory.
My bad.
I thought you was going to continue that.
I want you to get your music in. We running out of time. I'm sorry.
All right, y'all. Again, please donate to our Cash App. We Talk Weekly. It is a new year. It's the first of the month. We are doing big things. Cash App. Shout out to T and Tony for donating to our Cash App. Thank you. We really, really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get into some music. 2021 was a lot. It was even times where I was like, did this happen in 2021 or 2020? Like the years were meshing together that I couldn't even remember what all was going on. And shout out to Lauren and Jamie for the recaps because I was sitting there like, yo, we really did lose Cicely Tyson at the top of the year last year. Like,
Right.
I forgot about DMX. Like, I thought that was 2020. Like, it's just so much that has happened. And
Yeah.
some other losses that we did lose was Kango Kid. We lost Prince Marky D along with Black Rob, Shock G, Draco
I
Derulo
remember
along
him
with Young Dolph,
from G
and
Unit,
one
right?
honorable mention was Bell Hooks. Arthur, Professor, activist. We lost her
We lost
in
him.
December. So rest in peace to all those families. And we just hope that this year just brings them nothing but joy and blessings and peace. All right, y'all. So I did some music highlights. We're gonna start with the music highlights. Then I'm gonna get into my top 10 singles. Then my top 10 albums with my album of the year. But in
Hey.
the highlights, y'all, we gonna start off with the Grammys. Now, if y'all remember the Grammys, y'all remember it was a whole lot of showing going on. The Weeknd was not having it, y'all. The Weeknd was upset because he was not nominated any category for his album After Hours. And he said, I'm telling my label to not submit anything to the Grammys again. But let me tell you this. It was okay because he tore up the Super Bowl. The Weeknd was litty Super Bowl and the Billboard Music Awards. So shout out to the Weeknd. That was a crazy year. I remember Tiana Taylor coming out and speaking her piece as well. The Grammys snubbed the Weeknd. That was not fair at all. All right, my next one. Don't call it a comeback. We gonna call it a rest, reset, and reflect. Okay, some of our faves took a big old hiatus. I'm talking about 5 years they haven't dropped a project. And I'm gonna start off with my girl Adele, y'all. It's been 5 years because she dropped 5 and she came with 30. Yes, if you have not tapped into Take It Easy on Me, you need to tap into Adele 30, y'all. That album was everything. My other mention, the top dog entertainment rapper Isaiah Rashad. He dropped Burning House. The House is Burning. Isaiah took a break. He had to focus on his mental health, which that was definitely big year 2020. It definitely 2021. And he put that onto his music. So definitely tap into The House is Burning for Isaiah Rashad. And last but not least, my girl, my Philly girl, Jasmine Sullivan. Yes, y'all. Mama came back with Hotels. If you didn't get into the album, you need to get into the album because Pitchfork named the album the #1 album of the year. So, Jasmine Sullivan, we thank you. I hope Corona don't ruin the concert because I'll be there in March. You know, at the Met, celebrating and singing along. I plan on losing my voice.
Jasmine, one more thing. No more busting windows out. Nobody cars, man. You got people following that. Yo, cut it out.
That's the song though. All right, Jasmine, all hits, y'all. And when I mention these albums, 30, Hotels, The House is Burning, all hits, no skips. Tap in, y'all. Definitely tap in. We got another highlight. Drake became the first artist to debut not number just one, not number just two, but number 3, 1, 2, and 3 on the Hot 100 simultaneously with the records from his Scary Hours 2 EP. I'm talking about What's Next. What's Next? What's These featuring Lil Baby and the Lemon Pepper Freestyle featuring Rick Ross. So shout out to Drake for that. We also have 18-year-old Olivia Rodrigo, who dropped as Billboard's new artist 2021, and she became Time Magazine's Entertainer of the Year. Now that right there became it was a little upsetting to the Doja Cat fans. I am a Doja Cat fan, and I was a little upset because Doja Cat did not spend 2 years giving us different versions of Say So. All right, I'm talking about a rock version, an indie version, a hip hop, a pop. She did not do that for her not to get Entertainer of the Year. Oh, it's okay.
So no, I like Doja Cat. It's all good.
Hate on the
Doja. Another one. Kendrick Lamar announced that he was retiring from music.
Oh, I missed that.
And that came out of nowhere, and I believe he said he might drop an album. So maybe we might be getting an album this year, and if it is, it'll be his last album. It's so sad to see him go, y'all. Kendrick.
I hope this is like a Jay-Z retirement where you like retire and come back and drop like 6 more albums, each better than the next.
Yeah. I would think about that, Jamie. I like that take on it. I'm gonna go with that because my hopes are not up just yet. I'm gonna go with that. So those were some highlights. Other highlights included Britney Spears, who already touched on that. Free my girl. Happy that she is free, y'all. All right. So now we're gonna get into my top 10 singles. These singles also have videos, but these were my singles that I played probably more than four or 5 times. Yeah. I'm gonna start off with
that.
Daytona Starsky. He is an artist and record producer. He finally dropped his video for Mr. Action back in December. He also has his video for Gasoline. So definitely check out Daytona Starsky for Mr. Action and Gasoline. I got to give it to my Lord have mercy, Chloe, y'all. Chloe baby drop. Lord have mercy. And if you don't know who she is the other half of the baby sisters. Baby. Yes, she is doing the birthday. So she dropped their album 2020, Ungodly Hour. That's another banger. But
They was hating on it.
it was the older ones. It was the older ones hating on Chloe because she is into herself. You know, she is all about, she feeling good. She's young.
I like
Leave her alone. But tap into
But you can't compare her to no Beyonce though. That's
you can't.
the thing.
But those are prodigies.
Oh no.
Beyonce all up in there. Great mentor. I love it.
There you go.
Yes, Lord have mercy. We got number 3, y'all. Beyonce. Yes. If you haven't watched the King Richard film, Be Alive is featured. Okay. Be Alive. Beyonce dropped that with the film. Y'all know I love Beyonce. So I'm a stand. It don't even matter. Beyonce, Be Alive. I played that back to back as soon as it hit. That's all we about to get from her. I'm trying to have hope for this year. Maybe a single or album from Mrs. Knowles Carter, but Be Alive may be the only thing we will get from her besides the Ivy Park drops. We're going to move along to Miss Mary J. Blige. Y'all, Mary J. is coming for y'all. And I love Mary J. because Mary J. is really somebody who you never get tired of. She literally could drop anything and you pick it up.
Yeah.
Mary J dropped Amazing featuring DJ Khaled. There's also a video, and Mary is in her alter ego, y'all. Y'all know she on power.
Well, she was.
Did you see the thing? The documentary? The documentary was amazing too.
So good.
I'm gonna tap into it. I gotta tap into that.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So she dropped Amazing featuring DJ Khaled and her other song, Good Morning Gorgeous. And it's just an ode to yourself. Love on yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Do an Issa Rae. Tell yourself you're going to have a great day. You look good. We feel good. Okay? Good morning. Gorgeous. Moving right along. We set the trends. Big exclusive.
You already know.
He was, he kept putting that into the segment tonight. Jim Jones and Migos teamed up for We Set the Trends, y'all. It's a banger. And I like Migos. Jimmy cool too.
Jimmy.
I'm telling y'all, right here is fire. We set the trends, bringing in M's. I'm gonna have to call my account and make sure it came in. All right, we set the trends.
Jimmy, come on the show, Jimmy. I like
It's
him.
a dope single, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's a really dope single. The beat is nice. The bars are flowing. You won't be disappointed.
Good.
Okay, and this next lady, she came back and just has revamped herself.
Who?
She was known as Priscilla Renee, but now she is Mooney Long. You've known her for co-writing songs. She has co-wrote Rihanna's California King Bitch. She's co-wrote Pitbull and Keisha's Timber. Her song is doing numbers, y'all. Hours and hours. TikTok has been playing that song. All the Black love people are making their videos to her song Hours and Hours. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. So definitely tap into Mooney Long, Hours and Hours. Another one of my faves, Victoria Monet. Her song Coastin'. I don't even know how to explain. It just gives you old vibes. It's just so laid back and chill, just coasting through the day. It's everything. Victoria Monet is another one. She's a songwriter. Pen is crazy as well. Definitely tap into her. And last but not least, I love when the rap girls team up. That's been really my favorite thing in hip hop, especially female hip hop, is when the girls team up. Flo Milli and Rico Nasty, man. They drop money. I don't got nothing else to say. That's just been my song. My manifestation. Look, listen, it's money all 2022. Okay, put that in your playlist. Money, y'all. Put it on your playlist, y'all. So those were my top 10 singles of 2021, y'all.
No doubt.
Those was it. Now, my favorite albums of the year. I'm gonna start with 10 and work my way up. All right, y'all with me?
We with you.
He said, "Look, I'm old. I don't recognize. Oh, none of them."
Look, those old folks over here like, yo, I don't know what you talking
Like
about.
who?
Oh, Mary J. Blige, we got that.
Mr. 411.
Hey, Tony, that's the generation gap I'm talking about, my brother. Let's go down.
What?
My number 10 album of 2021 goes
What's this
to
name?
Little Sims, who is a British Nigerian rapper. She dropped her project, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. I came across Little Sims during Instagram. Instagram is always plugging new music. And I heard her song Boss from when she did 2018. Check that out, Boss. And that is what made me was like, oh, I got to tap into her. Bars are crazy. On the album, I Love You, I Hate You was a good one. Speed is a good one. And Woman, I believe, is a good one. Yes. So Little Sims, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, my number 10. My number 9 goes to, I already told y'all, Migos, Culture 3, y'all. Oh, just like the third Migo, I take. Okay. Migos dropped their third. Yeah. The album is dope. It has features from Drake. Everybody, y'all. I don't know what else to say.
I like Migos.
Migos really came through with Culture 3. And that's something that I've been playing back to back to back. It's really dope. Number 8, I'm going with don't call me sis because I'm not your sister. Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all know who Megan is. And shout out to Megan for graduating Texas University. Your girl is not only a big time rapper, but she's a graduate as well. Something for the hotties. Megan dropped for us. And it's definitely something for the hotties. If you are not a hot girl, don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Something for the hotties. My number 8.
You gotta watch them knees. Watch them knees.
Watch them knees, all right?
Nah, I can't do it.
My boy Meek Mill. Meek Mill came through with Expensive Pain. And it had my favorites on there. Blue Notes 2, Sharing Locations. Meek has really been doing his thing. I'm gonna have to give him props for Expensive Pain. The minute he dropped it, it was like, all right, this is fire. So shout out to Meek. He's my number 7. Number 6, this is Charles' favorite, Summer Walker. Summer Walker.
That's my baby.
I was over
I like her.
but now I'm still over it. And guess what, Summer? I'm right with you because I'm still over it. You did not have to come how you came in 2021. We're still over it. Insane, unloyal. Summer, you did it again. It's like, how can you top your debut? How can you do that? And she did it. She showed us. Her part 2 was just, it was just everything. So tune into Summer Walker, still over it, y'all. That made my number 6.
That's my
you
girl.
will love it, y'all. I'm telling you, won't be disappointed. And even if you pass the things that she mentions in her song, it's like a reflection. Like, you know what? I was feeling like that, but I'm feeling good. Okay, Summer, I like how you talking. I like how you coming.
My girl.
All right. Now, these songs that I'm about to mention, I have played over 5 times. Yes, I mean, I would let the album go back and forth. I mean, you don't even know the last song played, because that's how good the album is. When I say no skips, listen to me, y'all. No skips. My number 5, Big Sean, Detroit 2.
Let me tell you how they hate on Big Sean.
Tell him, Charles.
They be hating on Big Sean, and I appreciate his interview on Drink Champs.
Tell him, Charles.
Look, Big Sean, straight out of Chicago. He's not everybody cup of tea, but I'm telling you, he got some work for y'all. I'm telling you, Big Sean. Shout out to Big Sean.
Kanye made me mad with that interview. Pusha T or Big. You don't do that. You don't say who or who. No. Big Sean, I have been rocking with Big Sean since the beginning. Big Sean is a lyrical genius. Like, and if you want some songs for me to tell you on Detroit 2, The Baddest, definitely tap into the Baddest is that's it. Why would I stop? Because why would you stop? This is 2022. We ain't stopping. Okay? And it's the first song on the album. Why would I stop? Big Sean, Detroit 2, y'all. Shout out to Big Sean. That's my
Shout
number
out to
5.
Big Sean. Yeah.
Number 4 is my boy from Philly, Riz. Riz dropped his EP.
Shout out to Riz.
Icon by 25. And he also dropped the video for Back in My Bag, y'all. Definitely check out Riz, R-I-Z, on all platforms. The EP is dope, y'all. Definitely no skips, all bangs. Remember, I'm telling y'all, all my 5s, all no skips, all bangs. All right. Number 3, I mentioned him in my highlights, and I'm gonna go with this EP and not the album because I don't know. I liked it's Drake's Scary Hours 2. I thought Scary Hours 2 really did it for me. This Certified Lover Boy, I love Certified Lover Boy, but I did find myself playing it back to back like I did Scary Hours 2. Something about Scary Hours 2 really just oh no, what? Nah, you ain't like Scary Hours 2. What? I like Certified Lover Boy, but I don't know. I probably played it about 3 times.
When he said that thing.
I'm gonna tap back into it, all right? But I'm gonna have to give my 3 to Scary Hours, y'all. Scary Hours 2 by Drake, his EP. And my number 2, we have been waiting long and hard. They have been teasing us here and there. And even Silk Sonic, y'all. Sonic gave us that soul, that groove, that you just gotta play over and over. Silk Sonic, you did the thing, and you did the thing. That's all I gotta say. Even though Silk Sonic made my number 2, just the production of it from beginning to end was just chef's kiss. And when they came out with Leave the Door Open, they kept it open for all those singles to come. And I was just like, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear when I just want to play an album. I want to play a nice R&B, funky, smooth album. That's what I want. Thank you, Silk Sonic, for giving us a masterpiece.
Yes.
Now my number 1. My number 1 and my album of the year were very hard because it was a tie. And I just couldn't really decide who would get album of the year and who would get my number 1 spot. But I'm okay with it because these ladies, they shut the game down. And my number 1 goes to Miss Doja Cat for Planet Her. Doja Cat has come. I know I was.
Don't even know who that is. Cat who? Cat Williams?
He has finger right
Yo,
now.
man. He said Cat Williams.
He's quick with the trigger, man.
With his kids.
I'm gonna leave Doja Cat alone.
Said his kids.
Listen, Doja came in winging. Remember when she dropped in 2019 and was still doing songs and videos for that album, and then for her to drop Planet Her, the production, it's like you can't put her in one category. You know, a lot of we were upset that she was she in the rap category or hip hop category, I believe.
Oh,
Doja's not hip hop. Doja's everything, pop, a little rock. It's just everything, and that album right there was literally a bowl of spaghetti. Everything mixed together. Everything was good. I felt full after I got to the last song in the album. I was like, oh, I need more. So I can't wait to see what Doja does this year. I know she's going to top it. She's a bad joint to look out for, y'all. Doja's coming. And she's coming hard. The ladies are coming for the men. That's all I'm going to say. The ladies ain't holding back, and I appreciate it. Shout out to Doja for playing her. I'm not telling you what songs started from the beginning to the end, and you'll be satisfied. I'm telling you. Playing her, my number 1. And as we come to an end with this segment,
please do.
My album of the year goes to somebody who just really gets me, y'all. She just gets all of us.
I know who it is.
She gave us the album.
I know who it is.
We've been waiting for. What we needed to just be unapologetically ourselves and just laugh at the mistakes that we did and just
The build up.
with life.
Take them to church.
She took me to church. Yes, she did. And that goes to who's representing Philadelphia, Jasmine Sullivan with Hotels. Jasmine, clap it up.
That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Album of the year, Miss Sullivan. She also won the BET Awards for Album of the Year.
I know her. I know her.
He said, I know her. That name sound familiar. I went to the Black Lily. I know what that's about.
Give her flowers.
Yes. And it's so good to see her getting her flowers because they're giving us like masterpieces, y'all. All her albums, y'all, she has been given to us. Hotels was on another level, and it's just like that's something that you just put on. And you get your girlfriends around, you just vibe, and you just like, girl, that was me. That was me.
Right?
And she knows how to just conduct bring the lyrics together, bring the sounds, just everything, production, everything.
Yeah.
That is a masterpiece, and I'm happy we got that for 2021, y'all. And I just can't wait to see what she'll bring us this year or 2023 because I'm good. Jasmine, I am good. You know what? Because we're not about to harass you for an album this year. We are good with Hotels for this year, okay? Because it's going to be continued to be played over and over again.
Yeah. I gotta get it to Jasmine. I agree with that 100%. I gotta get it to Jazz. I think everybody was waiting for her to win.
Yes.
I think this is the opportunity to do it.
She's still winning.
Yeah, she's still
her
winning.
wins ain't even over yet because she's still gonna get more.
The one thing that I am surprised, and somebody already put this in here that you didn't even mention. Do you before I bring this up, do you have an honorable mention?
You know, I kind of did. I had a lot of honorable
Just
mentions,
give me
y'all.
one.
It was a lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with Tyler the Creator. Call me if you get lost. He was
No, not that one.
honorable mention. Tyler the Creator really did his thing. He's definitely getting his flowers because a lot of people wasn't playing his music or allowing him to perform at the award shows, and I'm happy to see my boy get what he deserved.
No
Because
doubt.
he's funny and he talented.
I got you. So I gotta bring this one up because I'm surprised you didn't even bring up Nas.
So I did listen to King's. I did listen to when he dropped that. He did just drop Magic in December. I have not tapped into that. I have to tap into Nas.
What about J. Cole?
Yeah.
Off season. Then you got Her, Back of My Mind. I thought Her, Back of My Mind was gonna be your album of the year.
Her was a good one. I'll mention her as an honorary mention as well.
Yeah. No doubt. So there you go. And was that your music?
That was my music. Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of music. You got it was a lot of music, ladies and gentlemen, all year. But yeah, we gotta acknowledge Nas, man. He did a wonderful job. I want to acknowledge the verses too. This year was a strong year for verses.
Yeah.
They did a hell of a job in bringing out a lot of artists who probably you wouldn't have been checking for the way that you are checking for now. So I like that they gave. Remember, we're talking about creating platforms, right? And they created a platform. I want to say, J. Cole,
Wale,
the runner-up this year, but this one right here now, I'm gonna pull this now. Tosh, right? Hi, Tashara.
It's called Tata.
Tata. I like Tata, but Tata. I gotta
Wale for Lauren too was good.
You're right. He's good with his collabs, but I'm not a huge Wale fan. But I can appreciate his music. I can appreciate
You
his
know what
music.
I feel about like that? Ty Dolla $ign.
Ty Dolla, yeah.
Ty Dolla $ign is like parsley.
Yeah.
I think Wale is so underrated, man.
He's very underrated.
I think Wale is so underrated, man. I think Wale is probably top tier lyricist. He just doesn't get the credit for it.
He is.
Because
I
people
agree.
not tapped in enough, or I don't know what it is about him.
I'm a big fan of Wale. He like Wale, Mary J. Blige, J. Cole, Kendrick, Lupe Fiasco too. Sometimes they're ones that like when they drop something, I just go get it immediately. It don't matter. Like
you know,
I've never heard a Tyler the Creator song.
You probably heard it, ain't know it was.
And ain't know it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not tapped in with Tyler at all.
Yeah. But shout out to Wale. Shout out to Nikki dropped a special one time. You know,
shout out to Lily for putting me on to some new music.
Beamer,
right?
Not her mixtape.
Yeah, she just
mixtape.
I forgot the name of that.
Yeah, because she dropped 3 new songs.
She said it's because he was a crybaby.
Seeing Green. Her mixtape that she dropped back in the day.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Tish, that is. It's just something, you know. I think that's what it is. But you know, just like she said, DC stand up. You know, so kudos to PG County, right? Yeah. So who else is? I gotta give a shout out to Uncle Murder though.
To wrap up.
Gotta give a shout out to Uncle Murder.
Mad
Skills, who does the end of the year wrap up. Uncle Murder
he out of control.
Killed it. He killed it. You literally
Murder out of control.
And you know, I'm surprised you didn't mention G Herbo.
You know, I gotta get into G Herb. Like, I've only like bits and pieces of G Herb.
I like G Herb.
Listen to a full album of G Herb, but I tap into G Herb.
Yeah, I like G Herb.
I don't mind tapping into a lot.
Yeah.
42 Doug, I like.
No,
it's a lot of rappers that's coming out that got some nice. Another honorary mention I didn't mention was Lil Baby and Lil Durk.
Lil Baby and Durk. I like
that's
them.
a dope album too. I
Yeah.
love when they collab on an album. You know. Definitely, that's a dope album. Check it today.
Yeah, I don't know if you in the designer, but I heard he working on something too. Something new, you know. But yeah, guys, look, listen, man. I'm just excited that I had all y'all. You know, we did all of the wrap ups, and I want to get this opportunity for y'all to kind of, you know, like Jamie, you know, you heard a lot that was going on today. You gave a lot of input. Yeah, see, Lil Baby, I like Lil Baby. Lil Baby spits. I like him. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we talk about trap music, I got a love-hate relationship with trap. Because some of the stuff I'll be like, what? And stuff, like when I hear like Lil Baby, G Herb, and a lot of them, I'll be like, yo, man, I need to cop the album. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know, it is what it is. You gotta leave space for, you know, different styles, different, you know. Yeah. So holla at me, Jamie. So what's good? You know, why don't you, you know, give me a little input? You know, we did our year-end wrap up, and you know, you have any, you know, few words and anything else you'd like to say, give some input on?
No, man, I think between all of us, we uncovered all the major topics that happened. I think we really hit, like, everybody got all the things that everyone else missed. You know, I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, if we missed something, put it in the chat. But for the most part, I think we did good. And everyone's opinions on stuff is like just top notch. And, you know, Lily, your music energy is a vibe for sure. Like the way you take music in is something to be admired. So yeah.
Yep, no doubt. Big, holla at me.
I think, well, first of all, I appreciate Lily with the energy and the fire. Like that, you know, she definitely put me on some new music. I can't wait to some of the stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna know immediately when I put it on. It ain't for me. Like I was having a conversation a week ago, like, yeah, I understand some of this music just wasn't meant for me, and I can respect that. They got their lane. Salute to them. Carry the culture forward. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick in my golden era of hip hop. You know, a lot of the '90s hip hop. But for the most part, what I really wanted to say is donate to the platform, $ We Talk Weekly.
Yeah, that's
You can
right.
catch new episodes of the Big Exclusive Podcast. We drop every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. If you're so inclined, make sure you follow us on all social media at the Big Exclusive Podcast. That's on everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, we even got a TikTok. Like podcast got a TikTok. We had some really cool first in 2021. A couple things that I'm proud of from the podcast. We actually caught a child predator live on air, which was pretty
Man,
dope.
that's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, we caught a child predator live. Shout out to the Luzerne County predator catcher. We caught him live on there. We did our first live podcast down at Punchline Philly. We actually going to be down Punchline Philly again come January 13th. So just tap in, man. Make sure you tap in to We Talk Weekly, WJMS Media, Love Life Wednesday with T and Tony, and all the independent creatives. And here's what I'll say. A lot of times this type of thing couldn't happen because people egos get in the way. I love seeing so many different creatives on this platform, sharing ideas, sharing opinions, respecting each other's ideas, respecting opinions, and then talk about collaborating more and making everybody's reach bigger and better. We need more of that. And make sure, if you can hear the sound of my voice, please share. Tell people about We Talk Weekly. Tell people about WJMS Media. Tell people about Love Life Wednesdays. And if you're not in Love Life Wednesday group, you might want to do yourself a favor, get on over there so you can get you and your relationship right. And some jewels and some gems always be dropped on there. I'm in there a lot. I may not comment a lot because I'm just, looking because the information is just so good and perspective.
Thank you. Thank
They
you.
offer some great perspective and so many different perspectives. It's not over there. It's not one of those groups where it's just a bunch of yes and everybody agreeing with the moderators and all that. No, people have really great opinions and perspectives about relationship because relationships aren't one size fit all. So salute to T and Tony for doing their thing in Love Life Wednesday. It's a great platform. And I just want to keep spreading love to more independent platforms so that we can all come together, make our own situation better, and it's just overall better for the community.
Thank you.
And my daughters coming up, man. They need each and every one of you guys to represent. I'd be super excited to show my daughters that look at these beautiful Black women out here doing something positive, bossed up, and representing for the community. They set the foundation for you to follow in their footsteps, and I'm proud of y'all, and I appreciate y'all.
No doubt. My God, my God. Love Life Wednesdays, TNT, holla at me, They like just, yeah. Okay. You want to
first and foremost, I want to thank you again for including us in this. It is imperative that we do this. Yes. Every year. I'm looking forward to 2022 because Love Life Wednesday is going on the road.
Hey.
We are doing a tour, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we got to get with Shannon, of course. COVID, if it allows us to. But no, I just appreciate all y'all and thank you so much once again for including us in this. Tony is a newbie here. My We Talk Weekly family. Right. I miss you guys. I miss doing work with you guys. They have put me on a platform and done a lot for me over the years. So I totally miss working with them, and hopefully in 2022 this won't, I won't have to wait until 2023 to work with you guys again. So
absolutely,
that's what we are.
Absolutely, no doubt. All right, Lily, what you got for me?
I enjoy this.
That's about it. I'm sleepy.
Come together.
I know, right?
I really enjoy coming together and just talking it up. It ain't nothing but love. It's fun. You want to do things that is fun. You don't want to do things where you feel like it's a job, and this doesn't feel like a job. So I definitely appreciate my fam. And I appreciate y'all. Nice meeting you, Jamie.
Yeah.
The last we see each other.
I hope not. I want to do this regularly, man. I need this energy in my life.
All day.
But I'm excited for 22. I'm excited to see what we about to bring. This is the year. Can't let fear get in the way. Do it scared. You know, because if you don't do it, you just don't do it. But you want to do
Absolutely.
it. Try it, do your best, and if it don't work out, at least you try. You know.
Yep.
So this the year we coming forward. We taking everything we want. This is the year.
Right. That's right. You got for me, Sizzle.
I just want to send some positive energy out. That I feel like this year is going to be a year of change, a year of prosperity for a lot of us. I feel like we need to work together. And hopefully, this is the beginning of something great. And there's so many different opportunities out there now for us, and this is the time where we need to come together and support one another so that we can grow together as a community. And just think about ways how we can create generational change that's going to trickle down to our grandchildren and our great grandchildren. So I'm just excited. I'm speaking positive energy and putting that out in the atmosphere for all of us. And let's just continue to push each other. When one of us is down, we support one another. We CMB, we all we got. And that's something that we always say at We Talk Weekly. If there's something that we can do to support any of you, just let us know. Just reach out, and don't let the whole year go by before we see one another again. But I'm excited and I'm proud of you. I'm proud, that us black people, that we're doing something amazing and something great, and something that eventually other we're going to train up people that's going to step into our footsteps and carry the torch when we get older, and we get just keep this thing going.
No doubt, no doubt. And so, just to wrap this thing up, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We did a full 3 hours. This wrap up is usually the longest show that we do. We do it every year. T and Big is been on ever since we started this wrap up. So I'm excited about it. And so our show is 2 hours every Saturday, 8:30, 10:30. Make sure y'all tune in at our new studio. We here, Creative Media Studios here. It's in Clifton Heights. And when I tell you that soon, hopefully when the weather breaks, well, it's like it ain't even winter or something like that. It don't even feel like winter right now. But when the weather breaks, we're gonna put something huge together for all the independent media creatives, so we can pull out everything and really show them how we stream this thing live, how we really do this thing. A lot of interviews, a lot of pictures. We're gonna show what Black media does. And really bring it. But I'm appreciative of everybody who's been tuning in, who's been watching. I'm appreciative for all y'all in the year 2021. Now we're going in 2022. We got some big things planned. We got some major things planned. I appreciate everybody who's been staying watching this thing here all this time. But make sure y'all dig a little deep. Send us something over here. We Talk Weekly, $. We Talk Weekly at Cash App. Y'all know how that ching sounds. So make sure y'all dig a little deep and send it over to us. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, that's it. We Talk Weekly, y'all. Y'all can find us all platforms. We podcasting, we on TV, we streaming, we everywhere. If you ain't there, you a square, because this is where all the cool people hang out. We love everything. And Tish said, like I said, I got shower out. She said, great show. And she love everybody too. We'll be tuning in soon. And yeah, we out here like last year, y'all. And we out, right? We did it. We out here, man. Holla. Early.